Hello, everybody. We are back. Hopefully, you can hear us. We're going to get going back here with our final table. This is our Winter Classic $50,000 guarantee. We're at the final table. My name is Vic Gager,
And I'm Adam Sugg.
and we're here in the booth. We're going to be here until the end. We've been here since about 1:15, and we're going to invite a special guest to come in. We got a special thank you to give to our good friend Caleb. So here's the background story, just real quick. We've done the Toys for Tots starting this month. We're going to go do it all the way to the 15th. And this morning we started, the today at $8,300, and everybody knew that our goal was $10,000 and maybe more. And this man right here stepped up and said, "What do you need?"
We're going to complete it. We're going to complete it.
We're going to complete it.
10,000. Let's go.
10,000.
It's
So
all for the kids.
it's all for the kids.
It's all for the kids. I love kids.
Well, we love
I got
you,
a 16-year-old.
man.
I got a
Yeah?
14-year-old. My 16-year-old has Down syndrome. I wasn't training for the world.
Yeah.
He's the best kid in the world.
Yeah.
Best kid in the world. But yeah,
Fantastic.
I do this for fun. I love it. I love poker. I love gambling. It is what it is. I like the people here. Great atmosphere. But yeah, 10K for the kids. 10K for the
Yeah,
kids.
10K
I
for the
love it.
kids.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I love it. 10K for the kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
Yes, sir.
And thank you so much, and
Of
thank you
course.
for being a
Yeah,
big
no
part
problem.
of this the Winter Classic
Yeah,
where we
not
got
a
the
problem.
50K.
Not a problem. I think I
you made a
finished
run
12.
for it.
Yeah,
12th?
12th, something
12th
like
place.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I 3 big hands all day, you know. I started 4th or 5th in chips, and here I am.
All
you know.
right.
It is what it is. So,
Yeah.
so
Great.
I appreciate it. I love the reserve. If you guys haven't been here, just come here. Great atmosphere. It really is. It's not like playing at a casino. It's not like playing at a big ass tournament in Florida or Las Vegas or anything. You know, just come here and hang out. That's what we do. We love having fun. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Great. Great.
It's a good time. Who we got here on the stream?
Well,
I know Ray. I see Ray.
So we've got Ray there in seat 7.
Yeah, Ray. Oh, Ray.
And I think you met. I think you met Gary Wolf for the first time.
Yep,
He's in
first
seat
time.
8,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
his handle is actually we had to switch it because some friends of his chimed in to let us know that his real name is the Heat.
The Heat.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
I
got
understand.
He's got a boxing background, successful
Okay.
boxing
Yeah,
background.
all right. I can see
and-
that. Yeah.
Yep.
He's aggressive.
And
I can see it.
coaching. And yeah. So and
Awesome.
let's see, seat 2 we've got Rick.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you know Rick pretty
Yep.
well.
Of course. Yeah. Of
Um,
course.
Seat 3, that is Jason, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now, the guy in seat 4, are you familiar with him at all? He's been wearing the mask.
No, I'm not familiar with him. I'm
Okay.
familiar with Lumpy,
Lumpy, and then
which is
Shay.
seat 6, I think. Seat 6.
Yep. And then Shay there in seat 5.
So is he the carpet guy?
He's the carpet guy.
Okay, so I heard
Yep.
a little bit about him.
Yep.
Heard a little bit about him. I know Nick Molnex, which is in seat, I think 9 or maybe 10, one of the two.
Yep.
He's wearing a Detroit Lions jersey. I know him. We go way, way, way back, almost 20-plus years, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. We've never played really heads up or talked or played poker together, but at the same time, he's a good guy. He deals at Hollywood Casino. Very fun place to play. He dealt me a straight flush for almost $18,000 actually one night, Nick.
Is that right?
I swear to God he did, Nick. I appreciate him. Yeah, I appreciate him very much so. Yeah, it was a great time. Yeah. So I played with him before as well. What's his name? Rich?
Rich, yep.
Yeah, Big Rich. Yeah.
Big Rich.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys should have some good action here.
I think so.
I do too.
We were 10-handed, and we had some technical difficulties. So in that time, we lost number 10, and that was Phil. Phil's a really nice guy. I think you're
Okay.
familiar with him, shorter
Yeah.
guy. Yep.
Yes,
And
yes,
so
yes.
he walked out of here collecting $750 for 10th place. Next person at 9th place is going to collect $1,000. Of course, first place, $10,125. That's what everybody's hoping to get in the
That's what
trophy.
you're shooting for.
And
yeah.
bragging rights, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Second place, $5,150.
Yeah, right. It wasn't really about the money for me. It was about the trophy.
Yeah.
It really was. I ain't gonna lie. I was coming for the trophy. You know, it is what it is. The money's the money. You know, it's fun.
That's
but
great.
the trophy's what I wanted. You know, I wanted to play it on my wall and see what it sat next to.
So back to the
So-
action here. Lumpy picks up 10s. He's going to raise to 500,000. Our blinds are currently 50 and 100.
10 folds.
The Heat folds. John folds.
I
in
mean,
the cutoff.
A6 offsuit. Yeah, he's got to get out of the way with the
Yeah.
A6
Two is all
offsuit.
in.
You know, number 2 goes on, which
And now
was
Rich.
You know, here we
Yeah,
go.
all in.
I think we're gonna have a battle here.
Pocket
I don't
sevens.
see Lumpy folding this. I really don't. He asked for a count. Let's see how much it is. What is it, about 755?
To call. Yeah, the total
Yes.
bet I think is 1.255. Our most excellent dealer, as all our dealers are excellent. Paul will get that right.
I mean, Paul. Look, you want to talk about him for a minute or you don't? Let's let Paul go. You know, hey, he's a great dealer. He really is.
Yes.
But you know, he will juice up some action for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think Lumpy lets us go. I really don't. I see him calling here, and I see him taking out Rich D. I really do.
Lumpy, like you, is one of the guys here on the live stream that's
Oh.
got quite a following.
I understand. Yeah. I mean, this is a big
Got-
call. Not going to lie. It's almost, what, 3/4 of a stack? Oh, man.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough call. It's going to be a tough call, Vic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's going to lay down, ain't he?
I think he might.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, no.
The Lumpy fan club is
He
not going to
did.
be happy
Oh,
with that.
no.
But I tell you who's happy with that, and that's Rich. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
going to take down, and there's our payouts, as we mentioned before. Phil took home 750, and now people are vying for that first place prize at 10,125. Ninth place, next person out is going to take down 1,000. But anyway, Caleb, thanks again so
Yeah, of
much.
course. I appreciate
Really
you guys.
appreciate
I really
it.
do. Yeah, of course. This is all fun.
Fantastic.
Fun.
Yep.
I love it. It's
Great.
all fun here. So I appreciate you for having me back, and until next time.
Next time.
Right.
Thanks so much,
Exactly.
Caleb.
Yes, sir.
Action's on 5.
So we want to thank everybody for hanging with us. You know, we understand we had a technical difficulty.
6 folds.
We didn't get a
7
chance
raises,
to
3
see
total.
the hand that took out 10th place, which was
8
Phil.
folds.
I know that Adam and I spoke earlier very highly of Phil.
9
Always a
folds.
pleasure to see him. One of the
10
nicer
folds.
guys that comes in the room. And really, we just have a lot of great people, as you just met with Caleb here, and going around that
Choose all
table
in.
right now. All these guys are just fantastic to have participating in this.
3 folds.
So another all-in, back-to-back all-ins by Rich.
Well, Ray's trying to use his big stack here. Jack 9 suited, opens up from late position. Actually under the gun +2, so not too late. But Rich picks up a real hand here with Ace King. Ray's getting a count, but I can't see him calling here for 1.6 million more.
Seven folds.
Good evening, Rick.
Fundraise.
I'm still thinking about that last hand because I didn't get to say anything. What did Lumpy make it pre-flop first? Did he make it 400K? Or 500?
No, he made it 500.
500?
Yep.
And then Rich went all in for 775 more, huh?
Right.
That's a tough spot. I feel like you got to go with it there.
Yeah.
I mean, 775. So Lumpy makes it 500. There's 200 in the blinds. 1.2. I mean, Lumpy's got to be getting almost 3 to 1 there to call.
Yes, Avery, that is Ray Brent, Brent Electric. She asked.
400,000.
8 raises, 4 total. 9 folds. 10 folds. 2 folds.
We now have 70 people watching on our YouTube. I'm sorry, on our Facebook channel. Thanks so much
4 folds.
for watching.
5
Apologize
folds.
for the technical difficulties, just a short one.
Shirley trying to get away. I
We're
know,
back
it's
here.
been that way.
Jason now going all in with King Jack offsuit.
What? I feel like this is the first time. No.
And the Heat,
Warner sang this song.
Gary
Tuesday,
Wolf.
First time, huh?
Gary raised to 400,000 here, and Jason decided to rip it in on the button.
That's what I'll be saying when I'm done with this hand. I'm gonna give it to you, bro. Oh, you're not showing me, huh?
I love the play from Jason here, honestly. Everybody is kind of sitting around the same stack size.
I know it. Switch hitters.
Everybody is okay with putting a little bit of chips in, but nobody really wants to put a lot of chips in.
That's good for TV too. Yeah, oh yeah.
So there's Ray as our chip leader here, 6.1. Shea at 4.1, and the Heat at one point was over 5 million. Right now he's at 3.5.
Man, oh man.
Tom Shea right behind him with
You're on me,
3.2.
though.
Under the gun,
I know it.
Ray Brent gonna limp in with the ace-6 of diamonds. It's an interesting play by Ray.
I
Ray-
see him do this pretty often, honestly.
Yeah.
10 folds.
I will say he's a bit of a chess player in the sense that even though he's limping in, he has already figured out what he's going to call.
Right.
And he's also figured out the players who he's going to call,
Mhm.
because he's a guy that plays the player, not just the cards.
5 folds. Option.
You got to believe these are kings or queens.
Alright, 3 of you.
Yeah, Ray's definitely the kind of player who would limp in here and then still look up a short stack who might shove all in on him. And like you said, he
Six checks.
thinks out these spots pretty well ahead of time.
7 bets, 300. Four folds, 6 folds. 500.
Tom limped in there on the button with 10-9 off. He flopped middle pair, but Ray with the big stack aggression just led out with absolutely nothing and got Tom to fold.
Alright, action's on 8.
That's right, Al. At least the Bears didn't lose this week. Thank God. They had a bye.
Folds. 9 folds. 10 folds. 2 folds. 3 folds.
50,000 and 100,000 blinds now.
Got to raise. 4 makes it 300. 5 folds.
Tom in the cutoff with ace king off, going to raise it up to 300,000. And Ray with a hand that Ray likes to come along with.
Yes, indeed.
He does pick up a gutter ball.
7 checks.
Backdoor clubs.
Check.
Ooh, and Tom checks that.
Tom getting sneaky. Ray turns it into an open ender now.
Yeah.
Check. 300. Call.
Pretty quick call there from Ray.
Bink.
Oh,
Bink.
bink. Absolutely.
Now Tom played this sneaky with the check on the flop.
425. Raise. A million. Calls.
Straight.
Wow.
Wow.
That button is red.
So Tom plays that sneaky, flops the ace with top kicker. He checks it. He bets out on the turn, but Ray picked up the open ender for more outs. After you check it on the flop like that, your opponent really doesn't put you on that strong of a hand, so I can't really blame Tom for continuing to bet there on the river.
Everybody's looking uptown.
Tom bets 450,000 on the river there. Ray raises to only 1 million. And Tom really doesn't give it any thought at all and snap calls with just one pair.
And now Ray at 8 million.
Yeah.
So I got a comment here from Dave Keniston. He had it on the previous one. And David, I'm so glad you came back and reposted that, because I was looking at it. I wanted to mention that you said that I'm very impressed with the commentators. I got knocked out of and listen to the radio via Bluetooth. Made my 3.5 drive home less boring. Great job. Very impressed. Room was awesome. Players are another story. LOL. David, really, thank you very much for that comment. Really means a lot. Yes, I wish you lived
Seven raises.
closer. You
350
can
total.
come and play here more often, but we will look for you again. And all the best. I'm glad you got home safely. And again, thank you for reposting. I wanted to be able to read that to everybody. We now have 83 viewers here on Facebook. On YouTube, we have 49. We appreciate all of your patience. This is going to be one heck of a final table. Ray Brent at 8 million, basically double the next person, which is Shea at 4.
Yeah, we had a little battle of the blinds there with Ray and the Heat. Ray raised it up, and the Heat,
Talk serious.
he
Talk
thought about
serious.
calling. I think he was more posturing a little bit because he doesn't want Ray to
Friday this all
continually
down,
attack
put us in our
his
place.
big blind in that type of situation.
All right, action's on 10.
Maybe you fold my
Fold.
pocket deuces.
Two folds.
You don't believe me?
If I knew you had deuces, I'd probably want to raise that much.
Three folds. Four raises. 325 total. Five folds.
Ace 3 of clubs now. Lumpy with the 10s again.
Yeah, this time he doesn't have a decision. He just puts it in there.
Yeah.
Fold.
8 folds. Nine folds.
Oh, real close. Right back, they're like the same.
Yeah, Tom still have about 12 big blinds left if he folds. He definitely still has enough chips to fold there. Ace 3 suited. Not going to be good enough to call it all in.
That's a true story.
I'm glad you folded.
Yeah?
So while they were putting this seating together here at the final table, I ran in real quick to talk to Gary Wolf, the Heat. Mentioned I thought it was his son, so I have a correction to make. It said Alex. It's actually Alexander Alexis. It was his daughter that said that he comes to all of her games. And I mentioned that
All right, action's on 2.
we didn't ask for permission for the Heat, and hoping he would appreciate that. And she said yes, and he agreed. He had a big laugh.
Nice.
Said yeah, his daughter texted him and let him know that we changed his moniker. Very enjoyable guy, as we've seen here all day on the feature table, now at the final table.
7 calls.
Kind of surprised Ray didn't keep the pressure on there. Why not?
Option. 3 of you.
Let it out.
I should have said that loud.
Yeah, let it out.
Ace 7-5 on the flop.
10 checks. Check around.
Pair of 7s for Nick. Pair of 5s for John.
Check. Check.
Check.
Check around. Check. Check.
Pair of 7s is going to win it.
What?
7s.
He slow played the nuts.
Final D.
I see. Missed a couple bets there.
All right, Bun Dre.
Now, what about John G here? Do you know? Are you familiar with John?
I've seen him before, but I'm not familiar with him, no.
Okay.
I recognize the face, but I have no other information.
Okay. All right. Any John G followers out there?
He feels better.
If you want to fill us in on some information. Obviously, Alliance fan, sitting next to Alliance fan, so he's got to be pretty happy about that. They both have to be pretty happy about the turnout of the
All right,
game
action's on
today,
3.
beating the Vikings.
Doyle versus Doyle here.
Oh, boy.
3 folds.
Neither of them fall.
No.
Neither of them take the bait.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any of that here at the final table. Be surprised. The Heat now, the cutoff, ace 9 of clubs, is going to make a
9
call.
folds. Option.
So you go and squeeze hands.
Rich is going to look down at A3, and
Check.
he's
All
going to
right,
check.
again.
So we're going to go three-handed into this flop.
Check.
Ace 4-5. Great flop for the Heat.
Check.
Nick with a gutter ball. Rich with a lower gutter ball. Gutter ball to the wheel.
400.
8
But
bets
it
4.
is likely that the Heat's going to bet here and take it down.
10 folds. Two folds.
So thanks, Brent. Brent says that
Right.
John, let's see here. Got the name here somewhere. John G. John Garcia is from Fremont. Brent says he plays with him quite a bit. Ricky Billow says decent folder he is, LOL. Delia Garcia says John G is a good guy, exclamation point. Ricky Billow says he's a golfer. So we're learning some more here about John Garcia. We're probably going to learn a little bit more about his game as we watch him on this live stream.
I could have told you he was a golfer
Four's
from
all
the
in.
Titleist hat. That wasn't some kind of sick read.
That's my call. Good luck to you.
All right, so Tom S. with ace queen offsuit
Be honest.
under the gun is going to go in for 1.2. Shea with king eight of clubs. Thinking about it, Lumpy looks down at queen jack offsuit,
6
folds
and 7
that.
fold.
Ray gets out of the way with the 10-4.
8 folds.
Also the Heat 9-2.
Uh-oh. There
John,
it is.
9
John
folds.
knows that he's
There
folding
it
the Doyle.
is. Nick picks up ace king on the button.
All right, gentlemen.
Tom's not going to be happy about this spot.
And this is basically Tom's
He on
tournament
stake.
life at stake.
Yeah, Nick does have him covered here.
Got him covered by a little bit.
Good luck.
We got
I hope one of you win.
1,235,000. 1,200,000.
A 2.6 million chip pot here.
Good luck, man. Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
All right, all right.
Alright, good luck.
Great camera shot there. Thanks, Jim. No help there. And there's the king. 10.
Looking for a 10.
Nope.
That'll do it.
That'll
That's
do
going to
it.
eliminate Tom in ninth place.
Hey, good playing. Thanks for coming.
So ninth place is going to
Feel good?
garnish $1,000. He's going to head to the cage. Great sportsmanship here all around. People getting to their feet, shaking hands.
Good luck, everybody.
Absolutely the kind of environment that we have here at the Reserve.
Collect before you leave.
As Caleb was mentioning, people just have a great time here.
Alright, we're in the big.
It's a unique setting. And there's our chip count right now with Ray at 8.1. Basically double that of
Alright,
Shea.
action is on 6.
No super short stacks.
6
Shortest
folds.
stack is Lumpy with 1.9 million basically, so still 19,
7 folds.
19 big blinds if you look at it that way, which is
8
plenty to work with at this point
Yeah.
relative to the other stack sizes at the table. Seems like pocket tens is just going around.
I'm telling you, earlier in the day when we started this, it seemed like sevens were just crazy, pocket sevens, and now we've had 3 pocket
That
tens
is all in.
within a short amount of time, and Nick's going to go all in.
2 folds.
I'm not a fan of this shove from Nick.
Yeah. I'm
He's only
curious
getting
about
called
that.
by hands that he's I mean, he might get called by ace king, but most of the time if he's going to get called here, it's by a hand that has him crushed. He's got a lot of chips, and everyone behind him had pretty close or more than he did, so that's just a spot where you just need to raise to 250 or 300,000 and reevaluate if you get shoved back on.
That hand I was in with him, don't tell him what I had. That's okay. I won't say nothing till after this is over. But I don't want
Mike, thank you very much about the comments, about our commentary. We try hard.
You guys
We
both-
do
think,
absolutely enjoy this.
I think Caleb's trying to get a spot back there in the final table.
He's trying to buy somebody's
What's going
seat.
on, man? How you been? You been here all day, ain't you? Same table. Same table.
Yeah, I started here, yeah.
I know you did. It's all right. You're doing good.
3 from my goal.
8 folds.
Get my money back at that.
9 folds.
Ray says he's 3 spots away from his goal. 1, 2, 3. So he says if he finishes 6th place, I
He's got
believe
his money back.
he's got his money back.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay,
16 bullets. That's
It's not as many as Caleb, but
yeah. no,
it's
but
up
that's
there.
that's a decent clip.
That is a decent clip.
Are you going to the...
Always.
Get there. You go. You going to the Georgia game?
I want to.
It's in...
Ricky Billow Selby went out somewhere like in the 60s, 60th, we'll call it 65th, 54th.
Let me know. 'Cause I'm ready.
He did not make it down to 5 tables, I think.
Buttons red.
However, Selby did triple bag. He
Triple bag.
Triple bag.
Nice.
So he picked up 1,000 for each of the additional bags. So that's $2,000. And Selby hit the Doyle Brunson promotion on the turn, so he picked up $500 there. And
Sounds like a weekend.
it does sound like a great weekend, and I don't imagine Selby spent 25 bullets at this, and so he certainly made a profit this weekend. Good for that young man. A few months away from turning 21.
8 folds. What's up?
Yeah, Ricky, the kid is good, and he works at it.
8, 9 fold. 10 folds.
I was just trying to steal my sunlight.
2 and 3 fold.
Boy, Jason's gone a little card dead here.
5 calls.
Lumpy in the small blind with 7-6 of spades.
Option.
Gonna call now Ray.
You got to raise.
Well, actually, the weirder part is Shea limped
Yeah.
on the button with Jack 6 off
I don't know.
for 100K.
Yeah.
Lumpy completing on the small blind with 6-7 suited is pretty standard.
Yes.
Fold.
Ray just puts in a giant raise that's basically going to commit either player.
I ain't got to show one that's not...
Well, and candidly, I think Ray does that. Even if he doesn't even have to look at the cards to do that. With his chip stack in the big blind, you've got one guy that limps, one guy that completes on the small blind. He's gonna punish that person. He's gonna punish them. But he did that with a very what you might call a legitimate hand.
All right. Action's on 9.
Yes, Hutch, this is the final table, so we're here, the final table of our $50,000 guarantee
10 folds.
Winter Classic.
2 folds.
We had 5 flights leading up to this. Total of
3 folds.
880 entries. So we crushed the guarantee. We had a
5
total
raises,
prize
3 total.
pool of
6
66,000.
folds.
Now Shays picks up Jack 10. He's going to raise to 300,000.
Ray wants to play every hand.
He
says,
does.
these cards are suited. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
8 calls.
And he does,
And
but he doesn't take it lightly. You know,
the-
he really's got to. He wants to think it through. But now we just have the heat and Shay heads up.
Wow.
Oh, this is what we
wow.
This is what we saw. Oh
wow.
my goodness! This is what we saw earlier. Hang on, folks. This is just some fantastic poker.
And that's a super blank on the turn.
Yeah, my goodness. See what kind of fireworks we get here.
And man, the Heat has been a chip leader for the day, and he has just ran into it here.
Yeah.
This is a tough, tough spot.
I know.
Gonna bet 600,000.
Shea giving him a speech.
Yeah, Shay's trying to pick up an Oscar while picking up the pot.
But it looks like he's not going to slow play it. Put in the raise.
5 raises to 12.
Call.
8 calls.
I hope I'm not misreading these.
Flip them over. We'll try.
Shay says he hopes he's not misreading those. The Heat makes the call. The board pairs.
Not a card that anybody likes to see there.
Yeah.
The flush gets there. The board pairs.
Check. All in.
8 checks, 5's all in.
Boy, tough decision here. Maybe not as tough because the board paired.
What has he got?
I'm not telling you unless you call.
Yeah.
There's 3. There's 2. 2.5, 2.6. 2,600,095.
It's all in
Yeah.
for
2,000,000. That's 5.
2.5.
No, this is 150. You need another,
Is that wrong?
yeah, you need another 300.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
Pete's trying to evaluate the situation here.
2,545,000.
There you go.
That's basically an all-in for the Heat if he's going to call. And see if he can get away from this. Like I said,
Brutal
because
spot.
the board paired, that's possible he can get away from it. But he does have the low end of the straight.
Folds.
And he does lay it down.
One's right.
I don't show.
Small straight. Ask if he shows. Shay says, I don't. But yeah, very strong fold there by the
At
Heat.
the other end.
And now he shows.
Good, good.
Nice hand.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We
Ryan.
both
That's a onesie, that's it.
One's right.
Next time I show you, it'll be me throwing away aces.
One is right.
Thanks again, good luck.
You had the 5-6, flop it.
And we've got a
5-6, flop it.
dealer change here.
Well, yeah, you must have the 5-6, right.
Paul heads out, and now
Yeah, because the others,
Ray comes in.
Well, that's tough.
turn in a river.
This is the last 10 at 50 and 100. Blinds are up after this.
If that club or 7 doesn't come out, you calling that? On that river? Yeah. That didn't help me. I know, but,
Made them.
yeah.
Pair
I
on the
have,
board and
I
a-
flopped the straight too, that's what I'm
Made
saying.
clubs on
Were
the
you worried about
board
the
too.
flush and
It
the,
goes up when
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
shuffled.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying, if that flush.
I didn't think he was on the flush because he was too active before that.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have really fooled me, yeah.
So Nick is under the gun with
Are we on the break?
ace
There's
10.
a break.
Can we do a short break?
This is 10,
Testing, testing.
but I dealt a hand at the beginning of it, so
Testing.
Okay, we're having some technical.
if you're out of this hand, you are on break.
Testing.
560,000. That's 100 shy, sir. Yeah, I believe.
So Shay now looks down at ace 6 of hearts.
Again with the, again. I do have to be 560?
560.
I call.
5 calls, 6 folds, 7 folds, 8 folds.
Jason raised.
560.
Testing.
9 calls. C9 is all in.
So now John G with the Jack 10 of diamonds is going to go all in from the big blind. He's got 1.4 million. Jack 10 of diamonds. There's 2 diamonds on the board.
990,000.
Jason's going to let
2
that
folds.
go. Shay's taking a look at it because he did hit the 6. Right now he is ahead.
You're crazy, but I'm crazy anyways, and I'm tired. And
Crazy and tired. He's making a lot of excuses here to call.
990,000.
We'll see if he follows up on any of those excuses and actually does call.
I had to pee.
We got a break coming up, and
990.
Can you hear me now?
yeah,
All right, I'm back
All
in the
right.
game.
Back
Here we
in the
go.
game. Here we go. Adam and I. Adam and me.
Some playing stuff.
Yes, Shay said it's getting kind of late. He's getting kind of tired. He's thinking about putting it in there.
Folds.
Little did he know he would have been ahead.
Yeah. Not by much, but he would have been ahead.
Jim, what are we covering? It says chip up.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Can't hear him.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of a break here. Not a very long one. Stay with us. This is just a bio break. We've already done a chip up. We're not doing a chip up here. So don't go away. Call your friends and neighbors. We've had a pretty exciting final table here so far, and looking forward to even more. My name is Vic Gager. I got Adam Sugg in the booth with me here, and we're going to be here till the end. Very excited about this $25,000 or this $50,000 guarantee Winter Classic with first place at $10,000. See you soon.
but sorry.
150,000 a call.
We went up quick.
2 folds, 3 folds. 5 raises 400,000, 6 folds. Where's that music coming from?
2 million.
Music gods.
Seat 7 raises to 2 million.
Yeah, that song on my playlist sounds very good with me for a second.
No. You said 2, right?
Yep. I'm sorry. I was gonna put 4 sticks in.
White House. You shut the door, so why the TV? Where's the TV at?
The one with that clock on it right there. It's 2 million to call.
No.
The one with the tournament clock.
Yeah.
8 folds, 9 folds, 10 folds.
Just not used to it.
Yeah, I
Been
know.
10 hours with nothing.
Let's do it. All in.
Seat 5 is all in.
Good luck.
Good luck, man.
Seat 7 calls.
There. Classic race.
The ladies.
Oh, I thought that was you, Lon. It was all. Good luck. I said good luck. Wow.
Two big names. That's it.
My friend, it's been great playing with you. Good player, man.
Does he have me covered?
Absolutely.
Oh, you know, guy throws
He's got
aces
a fault
over
cover.
here.
Nice work.
Hi,
Thanks,
you
Jay.
guys.
Okay, nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Good
very
playing
well.
with you.
Hi, you guys. It's a
So
pleasure.
Shea is going to
Yeah,
go
a little
out
bit
here
of
in
time
8th
with
place.
You know, former
Good
camp
player.
and all
He's
that.
going to go to the cage and collect 1150. He had quite a run.
See you next time, buddy.
He's also
Watch the video
They'll
and
take
see
care
how
of you up at
famous
the
you
going to be the guy that folded aces forever. But he had a great run here. We are back after the break.
What a huge hand there for Ray.
Yeah. Ray continues to add to his chip count now. He is at 13 million. Holy cow.
And
30.
that's a really tough hand there for Shea.
Yeah.
I mean, he was second place in chips with
Yep.
5 million when that hand started.
Yeah.
Just a really unfortunate situation. I mean, you can't really get away from queens there, I don't think.
Ryan asking, how did Ray get all those chips?
I believe it was all in pre-flop. We got it back a little bit late there.
Yep.
I believe it was all in pre-flop. Ace-king for Ray against the queens for Shea. Jason moving all in under the gun with king 10 off there, going to pick up that pot. Everybody congratulating Shea.
Well, thanks again, everybody, for staying with us. We're back to live action here. We're now down 7-handed on our final table. Everybody here vying for the first place, 10,125.
6 folds. 7 raises 400,000.
And the heat with ace-king of hearts. Ray raises up to 400,000. The blinds are at 50 and 100.
That has to be
The
a good
heat.
raise now.
Yeah, so now the heat has kind of.
What's that?
You can only make it 800,000 now.
Why? I said
Or it's
raise.
going to be 250 more 650 because you stuck that up for second call.
Doesn't
jam.
matter. I called raise. I have a right to tell you
I
what
need
raise.
a floor.
Yes, I'll call floor then.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have seen this before.
So
This
we
is
have
a ruling. So when
He said
he
raise.
raised
I
and he
know,
put
I
out the
see.
call,
Yeah, I declared raise, so I have a,
raise, but you put out the calling chips, which makes it a min raise.
okay.
250. So it's gonna
So
go
this
to
is a
650
recently changed rule here.
Should be.
Kind of
He
unfortunate
raises
for the Heat
250,
here.
Yeah.
Your min raise is 250.
For a very
250
long
it's gonna be
time,
650.
it's been if you announce raise and put out the original calling chips of the bet before you.
Yeah.
In this case, Ray raised to 400,000, so that was the bet before him. It used to be that if you announced raise, put out the 400,000, you could then go back into your stack
yes.
and put out the additional amount that you wanted to raise on top. They've now changed that rule to where you can only go to your stack one time. So once you announce raise, if you put out those calling chips, you're then committed to a minimum raise.
7 checks. Seat 8 is all in. 7 folds.
We didn't get to see a flop there.
Well, Jim had to come out of the room. You know, that's a
Yeah, that's true. I
an
wasn't thinking
interruption
about that
for
part.
him. But whatever it was, Ray checked, and the Heat went all in, and then Ray immediately folded. If the hearts were coming, it would have been
Yeah.
certain. So here's our chip count here right now.
If you just say the amount,
Ray is just in
Well, I didn't have, in my head, I hadn't determined that amount, I just knew.
A commanding position.
commanding position. The next person out is going to collect $1,350.
No, and you
This is
guys-
a $100 buy-in tournament. We had 5 flights leading up to this, total of 880 entries.
It's just like in the casino.
So we crushed the $50,000 guarantee. Our prize pot today was $66,000.
Well, it's just a big spot.
15,000 of that went to double bag bonuses.
Right, I appreciate you.
Selby was one of those that had triple bagged.
Yes, Ray,
Was he the only triple bagger? Or did we
I
have-
believe he was. Selby and Lonnie was the other triple bag.
150 to call, yes, sir.
No, I fold.
8 folds. 9 folds. 10 folds.
I was just trying to trap somebody though.
And I don't think it's updated on the graphic yet, but I believe Ryan just said that it was now
It was all in.
150 to call. It
Yeah,
looks
so
like
now the blinds
small
are-
blind is 75, so 75, 150 blinds.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, because that was after the break would have meant that we go up in blind. So we're now at 775 and 150.
See 3 folds. See 5 folds.
Rich goes all in.
Rich likes my strategy of you see an ace, you put it in,
Yeah.
especially on the button.
Lumpy and Rich are basically our 2 short stacks here. Really, the 4 bottom there, the field are pretty close.
Yeah, especially when you update the blinds into that factor there.
So the blinds are currently 75 and 150 with an ante of 75. By the time you go through the small and big blind, you're putting in 300,000.
Yeah, really anyone besides Ray is I mean there's a difference in stack size, but relatively, you know, they're all relatively the same when you look at the size of the blinds and the action.
Fold.
Seat 8 folds. Seat 9 folds. Seat 10 folds.
So we've got Jim Nasser. Jim was a double bagger. Jim played back-to-back flights. Only put a bullet into each one. Invested $200.
Seat 3 is all in.
Jason H just ripping in with
Seat
4-3
5
off.
calls.
Wow.
Seat 5 folds.
Look at
Seat
that.
7
He's
calls.
ready to play, huh?
Yes, he is.
And Ray's gonna
Ray
call.
gonna call.
And that doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you ripping it in when the big stack at the table is the big blind? I don't understand that.
4
Yeah.
million is the all in.
Good luck.
Oh, that makes more
Oh,
sense.
pocket fours.
That
Okay.
makes a lot more
Yep,
sense.
that clears it up
Okay.
for everybody.
Yep.
Right now we've got pocket fours for Jason,
You
and
know,
this is his tournament life at stake. He's got to avoid a king and a queen. Now he's got to
now
avoid
he's got
a
to
jack.
avoid a jack. Now he's got to avoid a spade. He's got to avoid every card in the deck. He did.
Oh, and he did. Wow. So he is going to double up here from Ray with his pocket fours, plus picking up
Fours never held up for me.
$300,000 from the blinds and the ante.
Now I'm not quite as convinced that Shea had pocket aces.
No,
Maybe we just gave him all this crap for nothing now.
He did, and I did see him out in the hall there and said, man, you're going to put up with a lot of grief. He says, no, that's all a part. Great attitude. He said, that's all a part of it. Poker's a lot of fun.
Like shit.
And people, even this final table, at this point, 7, with all that money at stake, laughing, joking, mixing it up. Great environment here at the Reserve Poker Club, 5105 Glendale here in Toledo, Ohio. Bringing you this live stream. It's a little, we've got a 15-minute delay. That's about being fair, but this is happening tonight, folks, and we're going to stay with it until we've got the person that takes down the $10,000 first prize plus the trophy.
3 folds.
Pocket fours last hand, all in. Pocket fives this hand, fold. Of course, there was a double up in the middle, so.
8 calls.
Yeah, I would have had to go talk to Jason personally on that one if it was 4-3 off that he shifted in there on the button.
Yeah, right.
7 checks.
All hearts here on this flop. Neither one of these players have a heart.
8 checks.
Not much for either one of them. It's a battle of the blinds, and now not much help there either, unless somebody wants to take a stab at it.
7 checks.
Yeah, we got a check.
Me too.
Chop pot.
And they're going to chop it up. They're going to play the board.
Well played, sir.
We both got caught with our pants down, didn't we?
Yeah, but one of us should have.
Well, you were a little blind, I was big blind, you know what I'm saying?
Alex, I hope you heard me
Gone.
correct what I said earlier, that that Gary Wolf's son had chimed in. I'm sorry. I apologize. Turns out his daughter,
I
Alex.
said all the red,
Thank you very much for
everything. There wasn't
watching
nothing
and
about
commenting.
other
Did
than
have a
the aces.
chance to talk to your dad a little bit as they put the final table together, making sure that he was okay with the moniker The Heat. Good-natured man that he is, said absolutely. Yeah, Steve Johnson. Jason has been playing very solid all day. We've been able to watch him play all day. He's been at this feature table and now the final
5
table.
folds, 7 folds.
He's always been 6.
On the small blind, Jack 4 for the Heat. Needs $75,000 here to call.
Nice if I said the right number. He just knows.
John Garcia
8 calls. I've been calling him 5 the whole time since it's down.
Have you?
Yeah. 9 checks.
5.5.
is going to check that.
Yeah, at least Jim's away.
There's the queen.
Somebody's gotta be.
There's nothing on that board for the Heat, so he's going to check that. John Garcia is going to put out a bet here.
9 bets, 200,000.
An immediate fold from the Heat.
Good hand.
Seven players remaining. Ray with double the next stack. 72 big blinds, 10.8 million in chips. Jason, 4.8 million, 32 big blinds. All the way down to Lumpy. Now that those blinds have went up, he's at 1.4 million. Just 9 big blinds.
Devin asked if there's a big cash game live stream coming up. Yes, there is. There's actually 3 coming up. Now we're doing 2-5 No Limit Hold'em on Tuesday nights. Thursday nights is 5-5 PLO. And then Saturday night, our usual Rumble at the Reserve.
400,000.
It's a 5-10 no limit hold'em. If you want to join in on any of those games, particularly this Tuesday, I believe we still have a seat open for Tuesday. Call the reserve. Let us know.
Seat 6 folds. 7 folds.
So under the gun, Rich T picking up pocket aces, pocket rockets.
He raises to 400,000.
Jason with some newfound confidence after that double up wants to see a flop here with Jack 8 suited.
10 calls.
And
Nick
Nick, who's
just
already got
calls.
150K in the big blind, getting a great price.
Yeah.
Got to be scared when there's an under the gun open like that. Oh, tough flop there for Jason.
10 checks.
Flop stop pair. Depending on how Rich plays this, it's going to be tough for Jason to not lose at least some additional chips.
Nick is first act here. Trying to get a read on what his hand might be in relationship to the other two players.
I believe Nick checked already.
Oh, he did check. Okay.
Seat 3 calls.
And Rich went all in, and Jason snap called.
Wow.
Didn't even think about it.
No.
Wow. Wow.
So Nick folds, gets out of the way.
Jason kind of lamenting his own play there.
Yeah.
1,000,000.
And that's the problem when you come in, especially facing an under-the-gun raise like that. You flop top pair. When that guy moves all in,
Now our computer knows that the 8 of spades and the jack of clubs is gone, so we're basically Jason is looking at 3 outs.
Make it interesting.
running diamonds.
That's no help. And the aces are going to hold up.
Huge double there for Rich.
Very big.
And Rich goes from one lumpy call away to maybe being out of this tournament when he has those pocket 7s against the pocket 10s early on in this final table, to now being in second place with a healthy stack.
Quite a dent into Jason's stack, who was in second place. Ray still with a commanding lead of 10 million. So we started the day at 1 o'clock today. We had 90 players. Total chip count is 30.8 million. Ray with now a third of that. And up against 6 other players. We're 7-handed on this final table. And we've got quite a viewership going right now. Very happy about that. 74 people on YouTube.
Jason, right back at it still.
Yeah.
Under the gun, picks up ace-jack.
6 folds, 7
And this
folds.
time he decides to just rip it in there.
And
the
here we go.
heat,
The heat.
Picking up the heat.
0.25.
And this is going to be his tournament life if he makes this call on the line. But he's got pocket 10s.
And after just seeing on the very last hand, you know, Jason called a raise with Jack 8 of diamonds, then called an all-in. You got to kind of take that into account a little bit, that maybe there's a little bit of frustration, maybe there's
I didn't see that.
a little bit of tilt going on there.
This 3 was sitting behind that button.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. Might change my mind.
2.725.
That sounds better.
Yeah, I didn't see the 300 I left back there.
Ryan getting the pot right, making sure that Gary has the correct number.
I'm gonna make sure it's right. Yep. 2.7.
2.725.
I call.
And the Heat does make the call.
Yes, he does.
8 calls.
And it looks like he actually had Jason covered.
9 folds. 10 folds.
Good luck.
He's got a little bit left
2
there
folds.
after he makes this call. Ace Jack against pocket tens.
Good luck. I gotta get you one. This is 54-40.
So I believe this is actually Jason's.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Whoa.
Don't want a king.
Doesn't want a king.
Right.
The Heat does not want another king out there. There's a rag. Now it's just the Jack or Ace, and he
Man, lucky.
avoids those. And Jason is going to go out here in 7th place. He's going to collect $1,350 for his work today, this week. And he really, you know, Steve Johnson call out. He really did play very, very well, very strong.
Good luck, everybody. You got Paul coming in.
Yeah, you know the Heat's heart had to skip a beat.
Yeah.
There, when paint comes up on the river there.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was the one paint card he did not lose to.
Singh asking us to speak a little bit louder. Not
Yeah.
sure.
We've been having some technical difficulties going on. Maybe that's a little bit better.
Singh, can you hear us a little bit better right now? I did something back here.
See you, Jason. He's had my number all day. He's got my nemesis.
Hope you guys can hear us okay. Please give us the feedback if you wish.
It was shaky.
We appreciate all your comments. David Keniston asked, when will day 2 video be available? Actually, if you go on to the YouTube now, you can go back and see any of our live streams that we've produced since we began this in September.
It's just the blinds. 75, 150.
They never come off there, so you can look that up. This particular one. Nope.
500.
Josh Lawrence telling us we're plenty allowed. All right. Hope that helped.
10 is all in.
So the Heat, trying to keep the momentum rolling, raises it up in the hijack with ace 8 off to 500K. And Nick with a
who
mystery
needs,
hand.
Yeah, he needs to shake those cards in the box a little bit so we can see what he's got.
We did actually see
2.75.
Rich fold ace jack off, which can't blame him for folding there with a raise and a shove in front of him.
Yeah.
So it looks like Nick's all in for 2.6 million.
I'm playing another day.
The Heat says, I'm going to play another day. Nice. Pocket jacks there for Nick.
Okay.
Pretty standard.
Pretty standard. Yep.
I have one over. Oh, I had an ace. My ace wasn't big enough.
And that just kind of shows you,
Yeah, but I didn't think you opened that.
you know, I mean, I feel like some of the stuff I repeat over and over again on these things, but Nick had 2.4 million to start that hand. The Heat raised to 500,000. Nick shoved all in, and he picked up 800K with the blinds and the raise. He increased his stack by over 30%. The thing about it is the Heat doesn't need to make it 500K there. He can make it 350. He can make it 375.
9 folds.
These numbers are all going to accomplish the same thing that a 500,000 chip raise will.
So under the gun, the Heat now has pocket sevens, and he's just going to call the 150. Our blinds are 75, 150. And with king queen offsuit, Nick is going to raise it up to 450.
6 folds. 7 calls.
And pocket nines there for our Chip Gazilla, Ray Brent. And now we're going to have 3 players going into this flop. Already a $1.5 million pot.
7 checks.
Queen 5-8 rainbow. Nick flops the best of it. Are you surprised to see Ray not raised there?
Check.
Check.
That is a very interesting.
10 is all in.
Just wondering if he got some kind of read he didn't like. We are just six-handed here. Those are huge hands, all three of them, when you're playing six-handed.
2.725.
Ray's weighing the options.
Haley Guzman. This was the first tourney I played. You guys were all awesome, and thanks for being accommodating and friendly. Thank you for that comment very much.
Ray's trying to think, what do I beat here? The problem is, there's maybe only one hand, like a Jack 10 suited. And even then...
He just said that.
Is that what he said?
He just said,
Ah.
I can, Jack 10. Wow.
That's the only hand he beats, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You
Yeah.
know, that's... You don't want to talk yourself into it, in a way either,
Yeah. Right.
You got to look on the stream for that one, man.
Yeah, got to look at the stream, Nick
Ray
says.
said Ace King. He thought Ace King as well, maybe. I see. I could see that as well.
Yeah. Yep. So now Nick moves up there closer to Rich.
How many people are in there
4.5.
overall? I think all of us. I think.
Your actions on 9.
You're not. Today it's just me and you.
So 5, that'd be
9
400
folds.
seats, right?
Now Nick looks down to pocket twos.
10 folds.
He's just going to let those go.
2 folds.
Lumpy.
Lumpy
Jack
with a
10
possible
offsuit.
shove here.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he let that go.
Well,
From
it's
the
tough when you have the two chip leaders to your left, but the thing is, when you're the short stack like that, there's only so long that you can wait.
Yeah.
Check.
And he would have been in a great spot against Ray right now.
Check, check. Check. Check, check.
Even better.
The Heat's going to try something crazy. Ray played this very
Little Hollywood there for his neighbor on the right, just to see if he could get a chuckle, and he did. Got to enjoy the Heat's play here all day long.
So everybody else up over 2 million. Lumpy right there at the 1.1 million mark. Only 7 big blinds.
Action is on 10. Ten folds. Two folds. Six and 7 folds.
Dolly Parton there for the Heat. 9-5.
300 total.
Raise the 3
Raised
total.
to 300,000. That's a min raise.
You got a camera.
Oh, got you.
Alright, heads up.
9-5, Jack 9. And the Heat flops an open ender.
600.
6 to go.
Yeah, pretty good flop for him there when he raises up with a 9-5. He bets the size of the pot.
9 folds.
Another pot there for the Heat. Ray at 10 million. Rich 4.3, Nick 4.2. We're down to six-handed. This is our final table here at the $50,000 guarantee Winter Classic. We just had a fantastic week of tournaments. 880 entries for this tournament, and we had 212 for the flight last night. Another milestone for us. Rich now under the gun with king jack offsuit, 6-handed. That's a pretty strong hand.
Yeah, I'd like to see an open here. Again, 350, 400.
450 total.
It goes 3x.
Seven calls.
Ray decides to come along.
Fold.
8 and 9 fold.
Ace 8 off against an under the gun raise. Not particularly fond of this call, but he does have position and he does have the big old chip stack, so those are definitely two big things to have going your way. And then you flop.
Oh my goodness.
And then you flop.
Wow.
350.
Problem for Ray is it's almost too good of a flop for him.
The bet was 350, and now Ray's going to raise that up to $1 million. Tough spot here for Rich.
I mean, there's really not much Rich can do here other than fold. He still has plenty of chips left. He was an under-the-gun raiser. He led on an ace-king flop. When you're an under-the-gun raiser and you lead out like that and then you get re-raised,
Yeah.
nothing shows much more strength than that.
I got you, show, that's all I want.
Ray showing extreme strength there.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't in there. Very nice, Rich. I'm gonna head on your chips.
So now back up to 11.6 for Ray,
And 8, another 8 comes
and
out.
that drops Rich down.
Yeah, probably.
Nick in second place in chip count anyway here on the 4 million.
All right, action is on 6.
I had 2 pair, but not the biggest 2 pair.
6 folds.
Lumpy back to card dead.
Yes, Bob, I think he did have king 8,
7
and he
folds.
made the comment he glad he folded because Ray did show his hand.
You're right. There was a king 8 out there as well.
Yeah. The Heat now picking up pocket 7s. He's in the cutoff. Needs 150 to call,
He calls.
and he's going to make the call. John G, ace-6 offsuit,
9 is all in.
and he's going to push all in. Nick now with king 10.
10 folds.
Can I get a count?
2 folds. Yep.
The Heat's asking for a count here.
2.325.
This is the tricky spot you put yourself in when you limp.
Yeah.
It's very likely that if the Heat had raised, that John does not make this play with the ace-6 offsuit.
I have to agree with you 100%. And, you know, like a game of chess, you've got to when you make your move, you got to figure out what your next move is going to be. Anticipating. Expecting the worst, hoping for the best. The Heat counts it out, then takes a look at what he's got left. Trying to make a decision here. If he does make the call, this will be John's tournament life at stake.
I'm gonna let you off the hook. I want to so bad.
Oh, I want to so bad, he
Yep.
says.
Doesn't fold him quite yet.
Fold.
He's going to lay it down.
Buttons are at.
Great move there by John.
Yeah, very much so. So now that we've made it through the Winter Classic, which was a great week, a long, hard week, going to get back to some normalcy here. Coming up on New Year's Day, 25,000 black chip bounty.
Bounty up.
Yeah.
January 1st, 12:15 p.m. start time. $300 buy-in, 40,000 starting chips with 25-minute levels. And of course, the best part, $100 bounties. So you knock out 3 people, you just got your money back.
You got your money back. That's right. And if you want to try to get into this for less than the $300 buy-in, we got a satellite on the eve of New Year's Eve, December 30th.
9 folds. 10 folds.
All that information's on our thereseurvepoker.com. And I'm looking at that right now so I can give you kind of an update as to what's coming up this week.
All in. Can I get 5 here?
Lumpy, tired of folding.
Yeah.
So we have the Heat in the hijack calls with King 5 of diamonds. Rich in the small blind completes with Ace Deuce off. And I like this play from Lumpy with 9-8 suited, even though you could sit there and say, well,
Yeah.
if anybody calls him, he's behind. He's got a hand that if he gets called by an ace jack, ace queen, ace 10, something like that, he has good equity still. And Rich makes the call. Wow. Wow. I don't know if Rich had some sort of a read there or if he was just wanted to gamble. Wow, look
Man.
at that flop for Lumpy.
Jeez.
He's looking for a club. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
That'll seal up that hand for him.
Did he know?
Much
Wow.
needed.
You gotta gamble with something. First hand I've even had, you know? Sit here and grind.
Yeah, I just don't. For Rich there in that spot, I don't really understand. I mean, yes, he got it in good. He was ahead.
Get out your way, so one
The
more
problem
down.
is he was only ahead 53 to 47.
Yeah.
And most of the time, he's not going to be ahead. He's
No.
going to be up against ace 9, ace 10, ace 8.
What's that?
Ace deuce is just dominated in so many ways.
Yeah.
Unless he's going to be the person to raise and ship it in there himself, he's just got to let that one go.
Full.
Folds.
So we'll be back here in business tomorrow night at 7:15 for our $90 buy-in tournament. Monday's also a big cash game night for us. Going to have
10 raises, 500 total.
round by round going on. So Nick, the cutoff with ace 10 of diamonds is going to raise to 500,000. Blinds are currently at 100, 200. So a 2.5x with ace 10.
6
Rich
folds.
is going to let that go. Oh, Lumpy. Poor Lumpy just gets these terrible cards.
That's
Ray
all right.
now.
He
Yep.
just doubled up. He can sit around for another hour or so.
That's true. Yep. Good point.
He's definitely not gotten bored or
No.
out of line or anything like that.
No,
He's-
absolutely not.
He stayed the straight and narrow.
So then Tuesday night we've got the 50,000 for $50.
50,000 chips, not
50,000 chips. 50,000 chips for $50. There's a lower entry fee tournament for people that are interested in
That
that.
tournament's been pretty popular.
And it's been very popular. Also on Tuesday night we'll be doing a live stream. It's a 2-5 no limit hold'em game right here in this room. If you want to be a part of that, get on the list. Give us a call.
10 folds.
John G picks up his first real hand of the final table here.
Six folds.
Ray just getting a little bored, wants to make sure he gets some additional time here. Give him 2 more seconds, and he's going to fold.
All right. And so will the Heat. I think. I'm certain.
No, well, he didn't waste any time. Good
No,
job.
but I
Good
mean,
job, sir.
I said he'll also fold.
Well, I thought for a second he was going to follow Ray's lead and think about it there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because why not, you know?
Why not? Then Wednesday night this week, we've got our regular Wednesday night bounty tournament. That's a $90 buy-in. That starts at 7:15. Thursday night, like the Tuesday's 50-50, Thursday night is a 60-60, $60, 60,000 in starting chips. And then Thursday night we have live streaming here, the PLO. It's a 5-5. It's always a big game. A lot of action. If you aren't coming out of the house this week to play poker, but you want to watch poker, you got Tuesday, Thursday, and then of course Saturday for the Rumble at the Reserve 5-10 No Limit Hold'em.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Ray on the button with an ace. Going to raise it up every single time.
Yeah. Particularly short-handed like this.
Now let's see what John does here. If he gets tricky and puts in a call, 2.875 million. He's got too many chips for Ray to call this off, I do believe.
All in, he says.
But the thing about it is, like, he's going in for 2.4. Or I'm sorry, he's going in for 3. He's going to pick up 875,000 basically in dead money. He's going to be increasing his stack by 25%.
7 fold.
Going to lay it down. Is there a different bet that John G makes to try to get Ray to call that's worth that, or is that basically at that point John's
I think
only
he can
option?
try to go for. Ray made it 600. I mean, if he wants to get tricky there, he can. Like, that's where I said maybe pull in one of those min-raise situations. You know, make it like $1 million, make it like 950, something like that. Because Ray still has the chips to call, and Ray is the type of player that would make that call still.
6 folds, 7 calls, 8 calls.
I also don't mind when you're in the big blind and you pick up a monster like that, the button raises you, just calling, because just calling as long as you are the only other player in the pot and you're closing the action. Now, if there had already been someone to enter the pot and then Ray raised, then I'm just a fan of getting the money in there.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's just heads up like that, I think calling and setting the trap, slow playing it a little bit, is definitely an option.
10 calls. Heads up.
It's just so hard when you shove all your chips in there for your opponent to have a hand good enough to call you.
10 makes it 500. 7 folds.
Ray lets that go. The pocket eights takes this down. That's going to improve Nick's situation.
I don't think that's a good
Can't win with it after that or 10.
Yeah, pretty good board there for pocket eights. Got to be feeling pretty good in Nick's spot there.
Story of my life.
Eddie McNally has joined us. We all know and love Eddie. There's a great shot of all those presents around that tree. The Toys for Tot promotion that we've had going on here at the Reserve. We're going to do that through the 15th of December. We had a goal of $10,000 this morning. We were at 8,300. Our good friend Caleb stepped up and said, "What do you need? Let's complete this." And now we are at $10,000. Much of that has been spent on shopping sprees, getting all these toys for the kids. Bicycles,
Jim,
sleds.
what happens if he had a 10 right there and he didn't want to show? No high hand? But you guys seen it.
Just a question about high hand on that last pot if somebody doesn't show. So we got a call here from Ray and the Heat.
Is this a family pot?
This
oh no,
is
we
a-
have one player.
One dissenter,
Yeah,
but
5 players and 1 hater.
5 players. Who's got
10
the?
checks.
Nobody's got the 7-8. Nobody's got the nuts yet.
Couple of 10s out there
Couple
though.
of 10s.
A double gutter for Ray.
7 checks.
Sneaky little hand there he's got.
The Heat now with the Queen 10.
And Ray's sitting there thinking, bet like 400.
8 makes it 800.
But no, he made
Healthy size bet.
it. That is a healthy size
He was
bet.
all in.
And Rich with a 10 is going to go all in. Ray's asking for a count.
2,400,000. Seven
Wow.
calls.
Wow. Wow.
2.4.
Ray's here to gamble. Well, he can catch a 7. He can catch a jack. He can catch a queen. It's not the worst spot, but the only reason I'm so surprised about this is because he's got the heat behind him, and he somehow gets the heat to fold the best hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
I bet
The heat is probably going to lose his mind when he sees this.
you're good. What'd you have?
So far.
Pocket. Oh, I had you both beat.
Double.
I had queen 10. I had fucking queen 10.
So Rich is a slight favorite here to double up. Ray is looking for any 7, jack, or queen.
Ace, no help.
Deuce.
Running aces. And Rich T with the assist from Ray. We're just going to call it like it is.
Yeah.
With the assist
With the
from
assist.
Ray.
Yep.
He would have been eliminated from this tournament. It would have been 10s and aces with a queen kicker for Mr. The Heat.
And it ain't over till it's over. We looked at just a huge chip lead earlier by Ray, and now that gap has closed between Ray and Rich.
You go down, but now that didn't happen.
A rare misstep there from Ray. I mean, against just one player, I understand getting money in there and trying to hit. You have a decent amount of outs, but
10 folds.
it's a very, very loose call there.
I gave both y'all too much credit.
2 calls. Check.
All right, 3 again.
Now Ray just limps in under the gun with ace-jack off. The whole strategy's changed.
2 checks. 6 checks. 7 bets. 1 million.
1 million into 700,000.
2 folds. 6 folds. And button is right.
Ray shows his ace to the table.
No, he's got 8 million in chips. He got 8 million in chips, and Rich at 6.5. Nick almost 5. And the Heat, who had been our chip leader for quite some time here at this table. He was here for the feature table. 6th place. Next person out is going to take home $1,600. They're all vying for that first place, $10,125 and the trophy. Bragging rights. Stay with us because we're going to be here right to the end. The Reserve Poker Club, 5105 Glendale Avenue in Toledo, Ohio. Glad to bring you this live stream.
8 folds.
John now with ace queen off.
9 raises 700,000.
Blinds are 100, 200, and he makes the bet 700,000.
10 folds. 2 folds. 6 folds. 7 folds.
And
Nope.
it goes through.
Goes through. No callers there, and he picks up 400,000 from small blind, big blind, and the ante. Just in time to be on the big blind.
Ridge, you've been hanging tough, both of y'all. Now you're up there. I'm looking shallow.
Pretty close. 9 folds. 10 folds.
Rich now with pocket eights. Certainly a much different position than he was in when he was just down around 2 million.
2 raises 600,000.
He can Gonna raise that. He's going to do a 3x bet here.
8 folds.
And it goes through.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that Ray lost a little chunk, I don't think he's quite as active. Or he's taking a little break, we'll call it maybe.
Don Eugene asked how much was last man. I will get that information for you. Alex Wolf chimes in. Keep going, Dad. Keep going.
Ten folds. 2 folds. 6 folds. 7 folds.
Call.
8 calls. 9 checks.
Ace-5 on the small blind here. Would have liked to see Heat just ship it in. And John flops 2 pair out of the big blind.
300.
Heat's going to try to steal it.
Bets 300,000.
Not a good board for the Heat to bluff on. Very middling, very connected. Draws out there.
John responds with pressure.
8 folds.
Puts the pressure on, goes all in. Takes down the pot.
Yeah, in a blind versus blind situation, when the Heat looks down at an ace, he doesn't even need to look at the second card. He should just be getting that money in.
Yeah. So now the Heat has dropped down below $1 million. Lumpy just below $2 million. Ray and Rich much closer in chip count. Oh, correction here. The Heat's got about 2.5. I guess I should have just been able to look at that stack and know that that
yeah,
was not
it makes
under $1
sense
million.
when we look at it,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't think we can take the blame on that one. But yeah, looking at his stack, it's definitely not 900,000.
Well, as dealers, we pretty much take blame for everything, don't
That's
we?
true.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just something that we do.
Take blame with pride.
Yep. I always say there's 2 kinds of poker players.
6 folds.
Those that blame the dealer and
7
those
folds.
that don't.
500.
8 raises 500,000.
And you can quote me.
9 folds. 10 calls.
Maybe that's what we should do on one of the walls. A bunch of quotes.
10 checks.
And again, that stack size is off for the Heat. He does not have 470,000.
Check.
8 checks.
I do like the check back. And he's going to get Nick to bet.
10 bets 350,000. 8 calls.
A lot of snap calls.
Yeah.
Like there's just no thought, and it's just like when you don't have to put any thought into it, most of the time it shows strength.
Most of the time.
10 bets 650,000.
Nick didn't pick up on that though.
No.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm
Flush.
Wow.
wow.
You want to see it?
What do you want? Good hand.
Wow. He asked him if he wanted to see it, and he said yes.
To do that?
I mean,
Said, are you allowed to do that?
we've all been there. I've been there personally. You know, when it's a really long day, you're playing a long tournament, like you take a few beats here or there, some stuff happens. Sometimes it kind of gets in your head that your opponent always has it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when it doesn't really make a lot of sense if you think about it. But, I mean, you heard the Heat there. He said, oh, did you have a flush?
Yeah. That's what he put him on.
Try that shit with me, Nick.
So, yeah, he talked him. See,
With anybody. No, I done it. First time.
talked himself out of that. So the question was, what was last person standing? You know, we do that on all of our tournaments. There's a 100% payout side bet for last person standing and for high hand. With larger tournaments like this, when we have 5 flights, you come in and you get into last person standing. If you bag in that flight, then you don't have to get into last person standing again. That carries over into today. That total is $2,080. So whoever bought into last person standing and won bagged in their flight and is at the table now, they're in the running for $2,080. Today, for today, we did a separate last person standing for $20 apiece. That total is $560.
See 2 re-raises to 2 million.
So now Rich picks up pocket tens.
We're in a blind versus blind situation here. These are 2 monster hands.
Big hands.
So, Nick made it 600,000, and Rich, instead of shipping it all in there, 3 bets to 2 million. I like this play.
Yeah, I do too.
If Nick comes back over the top of him here, he can still find a fold and have a healthy chip stack. Not saying that he is going to fold. But rather than just jam all in over Nick's bet.
Yeah. It comes down to not painting yourself into a corner, right?
Exactly.
You got to give yourself some options. With hands like 9s and 10s. 8s. Particularly with a raise.
Even a hand like Nick has ace-jack, if Rich picked up that same hand in the big blind versus blind situation like this, he probably makes around the same... I'm guessing he makes around the same type of move. Because you don't necessarily want to get all your chips in with ace-jack. Can't blame Nick for folding there. He was slightly behind.
And well played by Rich.
Yeah.
I did, you think? Maybe. Maybe.
Find out if you watch the video.
I have no idea. Yeah, I'm just putting fuel on the fire.
Still, well over 150 viewers here between YouTube and Facebook. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay with us. I know a number of these players have their own fan club. Got the Heats. Got people watching.
Lumpy.
John, Lumpy.
7 folds, 8 folds, 9
If you are on the YouTube channel, please take a moment to subscribe. Subscribers help us a great deal. We appreciate all of them.
2 calls,
Lumpy now with 9-6.
6 checks.
See what kind of action we get. Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy.
2 checks, 6 checks.
Well, Lumpy might be able to not
2 checks,
get
6
too
checks.
hurt on this one. Yeah. That was a really good run out for him. Just in the fact that he's not going to lose a lot of chips.
Yeah.
6
And even there, I mean, I don't fault Rich for slow playing, but I mean, if he bets the flop, he might get 1 call out of Lumpy.
Yeah.
But then when that when the turn and the river come out like that with more high cards and changing the dynamics of the board, Lumpy doesn't even think about it for more than a second, just lets it go.
already.
What's that?
And we're trying to find out what the hand was.
Really?
That's what he.
Oh, yeah. Get all the info I can get, man. You guys aren't doing the same?
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Not at all.
Play on my
Hey, tell him, Nick. Nick's going over and checking, and he's trying to figure out what certain hands were that happened 15 minutes ago because this is on a delay. Some of the people at the table are trying to needle him,
I really don't remember Big Bluff.
which I don't know why. The information is available to everyone, and Nick's just being the only smart one and going and getting it.
C9 is all
in.
Don't needle a guy that's doing something smarter than you.
So the Heat raises under the gun with Queen 10 offsuit to 500,000, and now John's going to follow with that pocket nines and go all in,
Rapid language.
putting more pressure on.
That is two.
Nick looks down at Queen 3 and quickly folds.
$4,375,000. 10 folds. 2 folds.
Lumpy now with Ace King.
Ooh. Tough spot actually here for Lumpy because the Heat raised under the gun,
Yep.
which represents a lot of strength. He made it 500K. Then John, who's basically under the gun +1. He shows up as the hijack now, but that's just because of the limited players that we have remaining. Only
Right.
6 players remaining.
I need a minute. Sorry, fellas.
And
He's
no,
asking for a minute.
no concerns there, Lumpy.
No.
We completely understand.
Maybe you'll read it.
The problem is, you know, like if this is a smaller tournament, if this is the early stages of the tournament, this is probably snapped in there by Lumpy.
Right.
But he knows it's very likely that at least one of these players has a pair.
No, I mean, I don't. That hand won't even be on you.
Especially John has played fairly solid this final table. He hasn't really gotten out of line.
Wow.
Wow.
Going to let that go.
And the other thing to factor that in as well is if the Heat does have a hand here,
7 folds.
he could be eliminated. If he ends up having a hand and calls off, he could be eliminated, and Lumpy could ladder up one there.
Right.
Good bet, man.
And he lets that go as well.
8 folds.
Squeezing me again.
Yeah, I think if the Heat could go back in time, he'd let go of that Queen 10 off under the gun.
Folded that? Nice folded ace king just now.
Yeah.
Oh, the best he had was ace king. Huh? What's that?
Follow big blind.
I thought he had ace
Lumpy
king.
said he folded ace king, and Ray said, oh, John had ace queen.
Trying to play something.
No.
You got ace king, I'll go all in on that. Huh?
The Heat saying, give me the ace king.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Would have got all in there.
He didn't have me. I'm still. I just didn't. It didn't feel right. You gotta go with that too. Yeah.
Anything's got you this far.
So I think we're going to get some comments here. They're already starting.
9 folds.
Never folding ace king there.
10 folds.
We have seen that in some of these live stream in the tournaments. Some of our bigger tournaments. We live stream the final table and somebody makes a fold like that. We get a lot of comments.
I was playing on your instincts. They got you this far. You gotta trust them. What was your kicker? Deuce. Huh? Deuce. What was your hot card? 3. No.
Steve Johnson says that's why we're out.
I was playing it for sure. Thank you. You're welcome. Now you get retired.
What is that quote they say? In order to be a great poker player, sometimes you have to be able to fold the winning hand, the best hand, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
2 folds. 6
Not the
folds,
winning
7
hand,
folds.
but the best hand at the time.
Right.
8 folds.
John gets a walk. So the Heat and Lumpy are much, much shorter than the rest of the crowd here. Nick and John both on about 5.2. Ray and B, 7.2, 7.8.
Got 'em waiting on the live stream now.
Anywhere from 26 to 39 big blinds in the bigger stacks. Only 7 big blinds for the short stacks here.
Unless he had aces or kings, then you're mind reader.
2 folds.
6 folds, 7 folds,
Nick.
8 folds. 9 raises up to 700,000.
Nope.
10 folds.
I like that play from John.
Yeah.
He's hasn't showed any weakness. He hasn't showed any bad hands. He's been getting it all in and picking his spots. Found a good time to get one through there with a pretty marginal hand.
Six folds, 7 folds, 8 folds.
Well, we could have a little pot here. Let's see what happens.
9
John with a
raises
couple of
600,000.
fives on the button. And now the stack sizes are kind of tricky. Let's see what Nick decides to do here. I definitely expect him to raise. It's just a question of whether he's going to put it all in or whether he is going to make a maybe 1.5, 1.8 million chip raise here.
C10 is all in.
All in. Easy fold here for Rich.
C 2 folds. 4.975.
John doing an inventory here, trying to see what he will have left.
Pretty close, yeah.
If those graphics are correct, it looks like John has Nick covered by 75,000. Looks like he started the hand with
Oh.
5.075, and Nick started the hand with exactly 5 million. Very tough with fives here.
C9 folds.
Sometimes when you get down to the end like this, you just kind of have to pick a spot to go, and I think that's what John was thinking about there.
Fun for the game.
Fun for the game. Pick one, he says.
No, I didn't have a pair.
John flipped over one of an ace that was in Nick's hand. Nick let him choose either card.
Either way you
Good for the
pick it
game.
in. Come on.
Would be an ace or a king.
Nicky, now you're lying again. You said you don't bluff. Bluffing or lying? Oh.
Not a pair.
Story. Ace or a face card. Either way, you're gonna think he had queen or ace.
Right, right. Yeah. Tell us a lie. To be honest, I can't, man. I can't lie.
Seven folds. 8 folds, 9 folds. 10 calls.
Nick just decided to call here with 10-9 suited on the button. I really would have liked to see a raise. There's not any reason to let Lumpy see a free flop.
Go ahead.
6 checks.
Good flop here for Nick. He picks up an open-ender.
C10
Nobody
is
else has anything.
300,000.
This is probably going to win the pot.
Blinds are up to 125 and 250 next game.
Ryan just announced the blinds are going up.
2 folds. 6 folds.
We are now at 125,000 and 250,000 chip blinds. With a 125,000 big blind Annie. So 500K. 500K every rotation around the table.
My fault. I forgot to put it on. That's all right.
No, you had a mother. I believe it. I mean,
They must have picked him up. He was yelling at you.
Ace 7 offsuit here for John, and he flat calls.
9 calls. 10 folds.
Ace 6 off for Rich. You can really see certain players pick up on this when someone limps in front of them or behind, you know, when someone limps before them into the pot and they have a decent hand, they pick up on those small things. Just like Rich right there. John had been playing pretty aggressive. He'd been raising a lot when he was coming into any pots, most of the time with strong hands. There he picks up a pretty marginal hand, ace 7 off, limps in with it. Rich is actually dominated with ace 6, but puts in the raise and gets John to fold right away. Now John's going to try to learn from his mistakes. He's going to raise this one up.
9 raises,
Ace 4
700,000.
suited.
10 folds. 2 folds. 6
And
folds.
why I keep going back to this over and over again is it's very likely that Rich would not have even raised that last hand, possibly not have even called if John had been the first person to come into the pot with a raise.
Right.
So Ray's going to defend his small blind here and just
Ooh.
flop a monster.
Wow.
9 checks. 7 checks. 9 checks.
Ray's playing it slow. He might be able to get a small bet here.
That's 1 million.
I think he bet a little too much. I think if he put out 300, 400,000 there, then John might make a crying call.
And he's going to lay that down. Jeremy Albison says, "What up, Adam Allure?" Adam. That mean anything to you?
No.
Okay. I don't know. Thought maybe that was code for something.
Nope.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
All right. Oh, a different Adam. Okay. Oh, okay. Adam Allure. Me.
10 folds. 2 folds.
I'm glad it wasn't me and I didn't forget about some secret code message. You know, that'd be embarrassing.
Right.
See how he did that? What's that? Folded the small blind. Don't be afraid.
Nick says, "Don't be afraid. Fold that small blind." Don't forget you could do that, he says. So Rich now under the gun. King 10, he is now the chip leader. Needs 250 to call. Our blinds are currently 125 and 250. If you're just joining us, you're joining the final table here. He's going to raise it up.
7 folds, 8 folds,
It's 500,000.
9 folds.
Nick's going to look him up. The big blind, 9-8 offsuit against King 10 offsuit. They each get a piece of it.
10 chips.
Rich, of course, getting the bigger piece.
2 bets, 375,000.
Pretty quick call there from Nick.
Can't fault Nick for coming along there.
No.
He does pick up an open ender on the turn.
Yeah. And he's going to bet it. That second pair with an open ender.
10 bets, 475,000.
And now Rich is saying, what did he call me with on the flop and now decide to lead into me with on the turn?
Yeah.
Jack 8 got there. Oh, wow. Rich says, nope. I don't think he's got it.
2 raises to $2 million.
$2 million is the new bet.
Yeah, when I first saw Nick start to grab chips, I immediately did not really like it. Just because he picked up an open ender on the turn. He only has middle pair, which heads up, it's not a bad hand. But Rich was under the gun and min raised under the gun. A fairly strong play. If Nick checks there and Rich bets a reasonable amount that Nick can still call, he can still realize his equity. He can hit any 6, any jack, any 8, any 9. He's got a ton of outs still. Now that Nick led here on the turn and Rich was able to put in a healthy sized raise, he's not going to be getting the right price here to make a call. Somebody was falling asleep, I think. Is Zell at this table? Shout out to Zell.
Shout out to Zell.
I guarantee you Nick is kicking himself in the foot right now for betting out here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Good. Take your time, man.
I think Rich figured it out. Like, what really made sense? Like, what would that 7 have changed that now Nick was so confident to bet out? I mean, yeah, there's Jack 8. That's the one hand, really. I mean, you know, it could have something like 9, 7, 9. I just feel like that's not as likely for him to turn 2 pair there and just fire away.
Is this in Nick's bandwidth to consider going all in to try to push him out of that pot?
Absolutely. Because this is a hand where he still has equity. Even if Rich snaps him off here, he can still win the hand. He still has lots of outs. 5 million in stacks. So it'd be 3 million more for if Nick went all in. It'd be additional 3 million for Rich to call. He'd be getting about 3 to 1 on a call. Nick's trying to decide, I'm pretty sure, if he wants to gamble and call this 1.5 million to see a river. I don't think he's going to shove.
C10 calls.
Makes the call.
Somewhat of implied odds, maybe. I think he's thinking if he hits this card here on the river, he still will get a full double. And he hits it.
And he hits it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, and
All
Rich
in.
is just puking.
Yeah.
He is just dying inside. What a horrible river card for him to see.
And he knows it.
Oh, yeah.
3.375.
Now, again, these are all... We can see the cards. We know what everyone has.
Yeah, right. Yep.
But look at how long Nick thought about that when he didn't have a made hand.
Mm-hmm.
And look at how quickly he went all in when he did have a made hand.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's been the common theme. I mean, no one has really... I haven't seen anyone kind of sit there and give any sort of... Not necessarily saying a Hollywood. You don't need to take a minute or 2 minutes even.
Right.
But 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you know, make your opponent think that you're thinking about it or think that you're trying to make some sort of play. Really disgusting here for Rich. Let's think about all the hands that Nick might have called with on the flop. 9-8. 9 Jack. Jack 8. 7-8. 6-7. That's a hand that picked up a little bit of equity and didn't actually get there. Again, though, that's marginal at best. I don't know if 6-7 might even not be in there in that range. You're now losing to 10 Jack. Jack Queen. King Jack. King Jack was a double gutter, so I mean Nick could have found a call there. Could have found a call there on the turn as well. There's not a whole lot that Rich can beat here. A stone cold bluff is about it. Good fold.
Yeah, good fold.
Tough when you get in that spot. You've put in so much chips to not just say F it and put the rest in there.
Yeah,
Props to Rich there for showing the discipline to lay it down.
absolutely. And our dynamics here change again.
Sometimes when you get to the end of a tournament like this, you just kind of gotta go. You gotta pick a hand and go for it. And I think that's what Nick just decided to do there. He said, "You know what? If I miss, I'm still gonna have 3 million in chips. I can still work my way around a little bit. And if I hit, I'm gonna basically be up there with the chip leaders."
And there's our two chip leaders, Ray and Nick. 10 million, 9.3 for Nick. Drops Rich down from the lead to 5.5 million.
So Lumpy and the Heat are definitely in. I'm a pretty conservative tournament player. I'll play my stack down to 6, 7, 8 big blinds regularly and still be comfortable with it. Anytime you're under the 5 big blind mark, you're in the danger zone. And Lumpy's under the gun, and that's really tough. I mean, I get it. Queen 7.
The Heat here with King Queen offsuit. It's going to go all in.
Calls 900.
Ace 9 offsuit for John. He's going to call. Fold.
900 straight.
Yep.
Rich T with the Doyle.
With the Doyle.
Getting a price to call. He's getting almost 4-1 on a call.
Yep.
And a player could get knocked out as well.
So, for those of you not aware, we have the Doyle Brunson promotion going on right now. If you play a hand with 10 deuce, the Doyle. If you hit a full house and you win the hand on the flop, that's worth $1,002. If you do it on the turn, it's worth 500.
All right, action.
And he
And if you
flops
do it
the
on
best
the
of
river,
it.
and he flops the best of it so far, you do it on the river, it's worth 100. The young man Selby the other day hit it on the turn, got 500 bucks. He also triple bagged. Triple bagged. Turned a profit without making it to the final table.
Two bets, 600.
I thought it went check on the flop. I might be wrong.
9 folds. All right, put 'em up, guys.
It did not.
Did
Okay.
not. So now the Heat's been a great player to watch. Really appreciate the energy that he brings to the table in the game.
Give me a king or queen so we
He's
can
gets a king or a queen.
Good luck. Thanks for the prop, Jim.
That's no help,
He's going to be looking for a king or a queen.
and that's no
No.
help.
Good plan.
All right, good play, fellas. Yep.
And that's going to be it for Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
Definitely a lot of fun today.
Just so much enjoyed your play, Gary Wolf. Thank you for coming out.
Would you say he brought the heat?
He brought the heat.
That was a bad joke, guys.
No, I know.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm supposed
I
to be doing the
apologize.
dad jokes.
Apologize for that one.
So that's sixth place there. That's $1,600 for Gary Wolf, alias the Heat. He's going to probably check in with his daughter Alex right away.
And she's going to tell him, why did you fold that queen 10?
Now we're down to 5 players. The next player out in 5th is going to collect $2,000. 4th place, $2,500. 3rd place, $3,450. 2nd place, $5,150. And the coveted first place prize today is $10,125 and a trophy. All from this $100 buy-in tournament, $50,000 guarantee. Prize pool this morning when we started, $66,000, $15,000 of that going to double bags. So Rich now has ace-jack in the small blind, going to raise it up. And being in the big blind just costs Lumpy.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, the danger zone here, because Limpy had 1,000,000 chips, which sounds like a good amount, but in these next 2 hands, well, in the previous hand when he was the big blind and in this hand right here, he's going to lose half of his stack. He's going to be down to just over 500,000 in chips if he folds his small blind here.
All right, action's on 9.
And I think one of the coolest, weirdest, whatever you want to call it, things about a poker tournament is just to think back to, like, for example, the start of this final table where Lumpy just makes the call
9 raises.
there against Rich. Rich is
7 total.
possibly, probably, mathematically, is probably eliminated.
Right.
And now look at Rich sitting there with 7.8 million in chips. It's things can turn around just like that, and that's what makes this game so great.
Yes, absolutely. It's you can't. It's. I mean, we sat down here and Ray was just in a commanding lead.
Now we haven't
And,
seen him play a hand in the last 20 minutes.
No. And he had kind of dictated the tempo and the pace early on in this table, and
Definitely.
really is not playing that role at all.
All right, action's on 10. 10 folds. 2 folds. 6 is all in.
Yeah. Now he goes all in with King 3.
7 folds.
Yeah, and you have to.
Yep.
Calls.
So both.
And that's the thing. You have a king. You're up against 2 random hands. There's a pretty good chance you're going to be slightly ahead if one of them calls you. And in this position, he is. He's a 50. I mean, he's a slight favorite. It's like a 50-50.
Yeah. This is a coin toss, really.
Oh, I don't say it. There's the 7.
There's the 7.
That's a tough flop there for Lumpy to see. Oh. Looking for a king.
No.
Not today.
Good playing, man.
Yeah. Good job, Lumpy. Really great
Yeah,
run.
5th place.
$2,000.
Nothing to be upset about. He definitely played well today. I'm sure he's going to look back at a couple hands on this final table and maybe think, what if? But he grinded a short stack for a while there, and I think he played well overall.
Yeah, I think so too. So now that we're down to four-handed, we are going to shift the table around a little bit just to make it a little simpler for the dealer as well as our live stream producer, Jim, in the booth. He's going to have to adjust things just a little bit once they get into their seats.
John just throwing his chips all over the place.
Not really a break or anything, just a quick shift. We're here to, this is an entertainment production we're bringing to you. We want to make sure that we make it nice and clean and
Alright, buttons right.
easy to watch.
7, yeah. 7. Yep, Nixon 9.
Is that buttons right, you said?
Buttons
Thank you.
right.
4 players left.
Is that right?
$50,000 guaranteed main event. We did bust up that guarantee.
Is it here?
So right now, these last 4 players all going to be guaranteed at least $2,500 apiece. First place, $10,000.
Alright, guys. Look. Alright, action's on 2.
That still shows 5th on the screen there. That was
Gary Wolf.
that was lumpy there. That was Lumpy that just went out in 5th place for $2,000. For some reason, I was thinking it was Gary too, and my brain went blank there
Yeah,
for a
me
second.
too. It is 1 o'clock in the morning.
That'll
After
do
all.
it. That'll do it. And I haven't even been here all day like you.
Yeah.
4 calls. 7 folds.
So Rich getting spicy here.
Yep.
Rich is getting spicy.
Alright, heads up.
Under the gun, raises it up with 7 deuce of diamonds. And Ray calls him on the button with ace deuce of clubs. Ace queen 4. As an under the gun pre-flop raiser, this is a good flop for
Four
Rich
raises
to
at $2 million.
continue on, even though he has absolutely nothing. And Ray says, I'm not buying one bit of it.
Alright, buttons right.
Doesn't waste any time raising up ace deuce.
I had calling chips and realized I was under the gun. Pulled a queen 4. That would have been spicy.
Freaking Ray, didn't re-raise.
I would have liked to see Ray just call there. If he really thought that he was that good, why not just let your opponent try to hang himself out to dry? You know, why not just let him continue bluffing?
Blinds are 125 and 250 right now.
4 folds.
On the button now, John G. Four-handed is,
I'm always down to chop the last long.
7
five-handed is, I'm sorry, four-handed.
What are you talking about?
10-9 is a pretty strong hand,
9 folds.
so he's going to raise that up.
So that's about
500 apiece.
Nick's going to fold back over to Rich. Got 6-5 of clubs.
he's not in it.
Yeah,
I'm game for that.
Done with the. You want to do both?
that's fine with me.
Alright. Are you in the?
I'm all
today's?
in, no.
Alright. Chop off both of them.
You hear that?
7 to go.
3-way chop on the big one,
Big one and
and then
today's
you
is.
2 on the
So I got 7.
Yep.
I
7 total, yep.
call.
Call 7.
So the last person standing that we discussed earlier, where you get to
We get about 1,000
the
each.
$2,000. Got to go back to my notes here. Make sure I get that right. So the last person standing, $2,080. And then today's last person standing, 560. Looks like they've got a 3-way chop agreed to on the 2,080 and a 2-way chop agreed to on the 560.
2 is all in.
puts Ray closer to breaking even.
We got a big hand here.
Yeah. Look at this.
John G raised it up on the button pre. Rich came along out of the big blind, flopped bottom 2 pair, checked it over to John, and he bet out nearly the size of the pot. Bet 1.2 million. Really didn't need to bet that big. And Rich, as has been common for pretty much this whole feature table, he didn't take very long at all and just immediately moved all in.
7 folds.
Wow. Big pot there.
So John has 2.1, bet 1.2. I mean, I guess it's probably unlikely. If Rich calls 1.2 million there on the flop and then checks it over to John, at that point, I think the story is just not sellable. John doesn't have enough chips after that. He only had about 2.1 million behind, so I don't think he is going to be able to pull off a bluff there, or would even try a bluff, I should say. So
7 folds. 9 folds. 2 calls, 4 checks. Alright, heads up.
under the gun, John limped in with Jack 3 of hearts. Is that correct? No, I'm sorry. Graphic didn't catch up there on me. And we got ourselves a chop pot. Let's see if anybody tries to bet at it. Nope. Ray an hour ago would have bet at that.
Yeah, we are here after 1 o'clock in the morning, but stay with us, please. We still have over 100 people watching, and we're going to stay here until we've got a champion of our $50,000 guarantee Winter Classic.
2 folds.
Ray with a real hand.
4 calls.
And John
7's all in. 4 calls.
all in 1.6, 1.8 million.
That's fine. It's just, I knew you'd squeeze as soon as they said good call.
Pretty standard spot here, honestly. Blind versus blind. Both of them got a pretty decent pair. Queens versus sixes. John was a short stack here. He really only had, what, 1.8, 2.05? I mean, he had less than 10 big blinds. So, can't fault him at all here for getting in with the sixes. Just tough spot to run into queens, right?
Jerk move, Denny.
Ace king on the flop. John gonna be looking for one of 2 sixes left in the deck, and he does not find it. Good playing here at the final table for John.
Yeah, really.
He was like the silent assassin.
John Garcia
You do stuff very well.
Alright, so we got a dead
getting compliments from Ray Brent. Taking 4th place here for $2,500. Next person out, 3,450.
Fairly even stacks there. And disregard where it says Fall Classic Event number 3, Pot Limit Omaha final table at the top there.
No, we know where we are. We are at the Winter Classic $50,000 guarantee final table.
The main event.
The main event for our week. Huge week.
calls.
Ray back-to-back big hands.
And gets sneaky.
Sneaky.
Check, check, check.
Now you hate yourself for getting sneaky. Can't even hit his gutter. But he does hit an ace.
Check.
300.
Alright, we got a dead button. Small, big.
Jack, could hit a 4.
Three players left.
Alright, action's on 4.
3 remaining out of 880 total entries.
Yeah, what a great week we had. Setting another milestone last night.
4 fold.
Last night's flight, 212th.
Calls.
And it's just fantastic. And I think I mentioned to you what Marquez shared with us about how many people he saw coming through the door that were just brand new faces
Yeah.
for us.
That's awesome.
And then we get to have a lot of fun and give toys away at the same time. Thanks to our player support here. Raising $10,000 now. That was our goal to make by the 15th, so we've got a few more days to continue to exceed that.
Alright, action's
Contribute
on
to a great cause here, the local Toys for Tots. A lot of kids here in Toledo and the Lucas County area are going to benefit from that. It's just very exciting to think about that.
Call. Check.
Battle of the Blinds.
Yep. Rich decides to complete the small blind. Ray with 8-3 suited, not going to raise it up. Checks his option. And they both flop a pair.
500.
And Ray wasted no time putting a decent amount of chips in the pot. That's about a pot-sized bet.
Calls 5.
I like this call. King on the turn. Not really going to change much on that board.
Check.
Oh, wow.
Just because I said I like the call, Ray got there with his 2 pair on the river.
Yep.
600. 4 raises to 1.2.
I like that raise as well. He's going to get this. He's going to get this call.
He's going to get paid off, yeah.
Yeah.
Try and flatten me.
Alright, the button there.
So Ray now at 16 million. Nick half of that, and Rich right behind Nick with 6 million in chips.
Yeah, that min raise. I mean, I understand why you said you liked it. I mean, it's so enticing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's got to be like a fire alarm in your head. I mean, can you think of a time when you've been playing poker in your whole life, when you've got to the river, you've bet out, and your opponent's min raised you, and they haven't had it?
Yeah. No, I can't. No. Rich now with the queens, and Ray with threes.
650 total.
Lines are 125 and 250, and Rich is going to make raise to 650.
Ray calls.
Ray's going to call. Nick is going to fold the moose, the 8-5.
I got heads up. I think there's going to be blood in this one.
Ray just said,
Ray's calling out for blood.
Yeah, I think there's going to be.
And he
blood in
knew
this.
it. How did he know?
Oh my God.
How did he know?
Jeez. Look at this. What might be considered a great flop for queens.
We need to set out the tarp around the table. There's going to be blood spatter for sure.
Yeah.
Calls.
And a call from Ray.
That might save Rich, actually.
Check, check.
That card might have saved Rich's tournament. That card might also help too.
Yeah.
But the ace especially because, I mean,
million.
if Ray has a hand like ace 3, ace deuce, ace 5, those are all likely hands where Ray could have called a raise pre-flop, called a bet on the flop, and then hit on the turn. The king is a lot less likely to have hit him in any way, but the ace is a definite game changer, and it's probably going to save
Almost
Rich's.
$2 million.
Well, he still lost $2 million, but I think his whole tournament would have been gone if that board would have ran out like 7-8 or something like that. You know,
That's all, because it did make, that's.
huge pot there for Ray.
Yeah.
Huge.
Blinds are now up 150, 300.
Blinds just went up. Paul's at the helm. Announces 150, 300 now.
I played it just right.
And
Beat you, dude. TOLEDO, get down to this shit and run.
does
white
that
hot
put
against
Rich, or puts Rich right at around 3 million?
Yeah,
So,
that was a case with Rich where, you know, you have a really good starting hand and you're three-handed, so it's almost like you feel like
Big blind here.
you can't fold it in a way.
Yeah.
But if you really
Man.
think about it there, I mean, what hand that Ray has there do you beat?
150 and 300.
Unless he somehow tried to turn pocket sevens, pocket eights, pocket nines, whatever, something like that, into a bluff on the river,
Yeah.
they moved me to this.
you don't beat you beat absolutely no hands there.
Ray points out that as soon as he got moved to that seat, he suddenly starts to get some good hands.
9 folds, 2 is all in.
All in and a,
Rich gonna get it in good here.
yep. But a quick call from Ray.
You have me dominated? You've got me down.
We'll teach Ray what dominated means after this one's over.
1.95.
Turn the deck.
About as good as you can see here for Rich
Ray, I'm wrong.
when you put all your money in with ace 5 and you get called.
2.95. You were right. You had enough out there. You were 1 million short. I charged you 1 million short. I'm sorry.
This could get us down there.
Full stack.
We could be heads up.
So another five.
Were you counting the full stack as one? I thought
Another 10.
Yeah, I counted this as 1. You owe me 10 blacks.
That's what I had out there.
Mm-hmm.
1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 50.
Ryan making sure we got this pot right.
That's how it goes.
No problem.
He's throwing the rudder right there. That's 2 million.
It was. Okay.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Thanks, man.
Rich said I run hot.
Yeah.
Rich's tournament life here at stake.
Ray does run hot. I've been a witness.
Nice hand.
And that's about as good of a flop as he could see. And there it is. Always nice to have it locked up on the turn.
So a
So
little bit of,
huge.
yeah.
That definitely
Cool.
gives him some room.
Yeah, a little resuscitation there for Rich.
Ray still with a huge chip lead. More than double. Well, not quite more than double. Both of his opponents combined, but about 18 million chips for Ray and 12 million for his other two opponents combined.
So, Kenneth Green, you mentioned a comment about the blurry video. Not sure. I have it up on my iPad.
250, 300.
Very clear. I'm not getting that feedback from anybody else. You may want to check what you're watching it on.
Raise 700,000. 150, 300, yes. I just said it goofy.
Now, is there a chance that Kenneth has been drinking all night?
9 raises
Well, who
700,000.
knows? Amanda just came back to say not blurry on my end. We do try to, if we get feedback, particularly about audio and other things, we're trying to make sure that we address that. But really, like I said, I'm looking at it right here on my iPad on the YouTube portion of it. Seems very clear. We've got it up on the screens out in the main room. I'm also watching it on my phone on Facebook.
And in all serious, Kenneth, it could just be your location. If you are watching it like over cellular network or something like that, your signal might just be a little off or something of that nature right now.
2 folds.
Certainly could see all those toys in the background.
4 calls.
Very proud of our group and all of the support that we get from our players.
We got a battle of the blinds here on a limp pot. Ray with king high
4 bets 300,000.
is going to lead out.
9 folds.
And take it down. Definitely would expect Ray to just be betting at almost all times here with his stack and the stacks of his opponents. We did have an updated chip count there.
Ray's on the button, looking down at the Dorothy. Queen with a tray.
Queen with a tray. I think that's what he's thinking about right now. He's thinking, man, I wish Dorothy was at this final table with me. I'd play this Queen 3.
4 folds. 9 folds.
It's getting late. Ray wasn't sure that the action was on him and had to be prodded a little bit.
I was thinking as the button, I was waiting for you to ask.
Yeah, he
I had a feeling there was something like that going on for a second, but
I
then
mean,
I was like, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense.
and I doubt that his mind drifted to Dorothy.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that alone.
It's been a long day.
Now Rich has got the Doyle Brunson, the 10-2. Don't think he's going to get an opportunity to play it. Nick with the ace-king suited on the button. Raises to 800,000.
Ooh, Ray has a real hand.
Yes, he does.
2 folds.
800,000?
800,000, yes, sir.
Could see some fireworks, a.k.a. bloodletting here.
7 million?
Ray just raised to 7 million.
7 million.
That's not all of it.
I call.
Okay.
And Nick
2 raises
responds
7
with an
million.
all-in, and Ray responds with a call.
He said 7 million?
He said call.
Oh, he said call.
No, I'm not gonna
6.2
fold.
more.
So,
Do we have an exposed hand
And then pull that back.
on the king-queen?
it looks like what happened was Nick has about 1.5 behind, maybe?
He's just joking.
Where's 800,000?
1.5. 1.4?
Oh, I took it all back. I'm sorry.
I just need
Oh, never mind.
1 million from you.
Yeah, so
Okay. So Nick has about 500,000
Erase them
back.
out. Yep.
What do you got left?
So Nick made it 800,000. Ray three betted up to 7 million. Nick
Got it,
announced
600,000
call,
in
but he
call.
actually had 7.6 million in his stack. It looks like
Cards, gentlemen.
great flop for Ray actually to pick up open-ended outs.
Give him the ace.
And here's Nick's tournament life at stake here. He is currently ahead, but Ray's got the open-ended. No help there for Ray.
Nice hand.
Wow.
Nick with the full double.
Holy
We have
cow.
a new chip leader.
We do.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Which is why you want to stay with us.
Picked the wrong time to get frog.
Yeah, I was just going to say something kind of similar. Ray said it for me. He said it himself. He said, I picked the wrong time to get froggy.
Yeah.
He didn't really need to rip it all in there.
No.
I mean, part of it, the part of it that made him rip it in there is he's on a run. He's knocking out some players. It's just like, all right, let's just get this done.
Yeah.
Let's just win all the chips. At the same time, if he just calls that raise there, sees a flop, plays a somewhat small ballish pot, I mean, who knows what happens? Nick doesn't make a pair.
Right.
Call.
You know, I mean, he didn't have to get all the money in there. Even though King Queen suited does look like a really good hand three-handed.
So here's Queen 2 of clubs, Queen 4 of spades. And the spades come out.
4 checks, 9 bets, 1 million.
1 million, and Ray's not going to stick around for this. Yep. Easy fold there.
You want to give me a bunch of yellows that I don't have to ask you?
And Nick's about to turn up the aggression factor to 1 million, I bet.
Give me 500, yeah.
Nick's not the type of player who's going to sit back. He's going to start firing away now that he has the stack.
Well, I hope so. I kind of thought he would there. However, Queen 4 is not a really even short-handed like this. Very strong. But I think you're right. I believe we're going to see that coming from Nick very soon.
$150,000, 300,000 blinds.
Four folds,
6.
9 raises to 600,000.
Now with Ray, see it's a lot of it's about stack dynamics as well. And I would have liked to see Nick just rip it all in here. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but Rich has 20 bigs and you got king high. Now you just
Oh.
let him come in.
Yep.
9 checks.
2 pair just like that. Check, check.
9 checks. 2 bets, 400,000.
That helps Rich's stack. So yeah, 130 now, and started this just a little over 12 hours ago. 90 players sat down, chasing the first prize of 10,000. We're now down to three-handed. Stay with us because we're going to be here all the way till we crown that champion with a large chunk of cash, 10,000 specifically, and then of course the trophy. This has been our Winter Classic main event final table.
9 folds.
And other than moving chairs a couple times, Nick has been
Who
here
raises the 1
with
million?
us at this feature table, so he's been here since 1 o'clock at this on screen.
That's impressive.
Yeah. One point his chip stack was down around 200,000. Scrapped his way back. And right now he is our chip leader. Total chip count 30.8 million. Did some color ups here, so we're now about 31 million. Next person out's going to collect $3,450.
2 folds. 4 calls. 9 checks.
Ray just going to limp in here with an ace on the small blind. Ace. 9 flops
4
top
checks,
pair,
9
top
bets,
kicker.
400.
Nick flops middle pair.
4 raises to 1.2.
Ray again gonna fast play, not gonna try to string his opponent along at all. And Nick is not buying it. He's wondering why would he raise me there.
9 calls. Four checks.
That call and then the king slows Ray down a little bit. I wouldn't think that Ray thinks
9
that
bets 1 million.
Nick's going to bet
Nick's
into him, but
gonna
he
bet
does.
$1 million. Wow.
4 calls.
Snap call there from Ray. Check mark now appears next to Ray,
4 checks.
and he is going to check
And
and
Nick
check.
checks it back. Good check there from Nick.
So bad I didn't play
It's a big pot there for Ray.
I had 9-3 with about 2 pair you would have countered for the good old Ray fashion. Nice hand.
Now the experience level here among these 3 players is significant. We don't have 3 players that are unfamiliar with being in big tournaments. They're not unfamiliar with being at a final table. They're not unfamiliar with being short-handed. So we just a lot of experience here for all 3 of these players. And I wouldn't even venture a guess as to one having more experience than the other. I know that Ray had taken time off from the game
4 raises 700,000.
and now has been at it pretty strong for the last couple of years. But Nick,
9
both
folds.
Nick and Rich,
What?
2 folds.
so you got to stay with us here because we've just got a really strong final table. We've got a strong final 3.
Yeah, and these guys are, I mean, speaking from, you know, mostly our daily tournaments where the stakes are a lot lower, typically these guys are also playing all those tournaments out. They're not ones to chop.
No,
So
that's
they do
right.
have, I mean, it goes a long way when you have that 3-handed, that heads-up experience. A large portion of our customer base,
9 raises 700,000.
you know, when they get down to 4 or 5, you know, left in the tournament, they like to chop. They like to guarantee themselves money, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'm definitely somebody to chop every once in a while too. But you know, Ray's not one to usually chop. Nick's not one to usually chop. I'm not sure about Rich, but I know that all 3 of them do have a lot of short-handed experience.
Yep.
9 bets 700.
Ray has just come after this game with a lot of resources over the last year or so. He's been very successful on the road as well as winning here.
4 checks.
Really wants to take this game very seriously.
2 million?
Meanwhile,
He
Nick
was our-
just has the stonies over here,
Yeah.
and Ray does not continue with bottom pair. Good fold there from Ray, actually.
Yep.
Because that ace was a good card for him to come on the turn. It makes the likelihood that Nick has an ace less.
Still got 100 viewers here between the 2,
Blind Nick.
Facebook and YouTube. please don't get off the YouTube tonight before subscribing. Got 557 subscribers. We'd like to make sure we get that, hit that 1,000 mark by the end of the year,
750,
or even sooner. Rich with King Jack, definitely strong. Oh no, Nick with King Jack.
But Rich's is suited.
4 million? 9 races to 4 million.
Nick is putting Rich in the blender here, though.
Yep, here's the 3-bet, and we're about to see a 4-bet. I believe.
I don't know.
No?
King Jack is not that strong of a hand.
Well, 3-handed?
3-handed, yes, but when you have to put all your chips in 3-handed, pre-flop, not so much.
Yeah. Nice move
The
there by
problem
Nick.
is a lot of those hands that Nick's doing that with include an ace. I mean, you could probably... When Nick has chips like this, he likes to get aggressive. He knows how to play these situations. You could probably put almost any ace, you know, any suited ace in his range. Ace deuce, ace 3, ace 4, ace 5 suited, all the way up to, you know, any of those combos. So you're behind of just that weak of a hand with King Jack. Not to mention if Nick really has some quality there.
9 is all in.
Nick just open ripped it there, I think. Pocket sevens, yep, takes it down. Oh, Ray was a button. Ray folded first. Yeah, that's correct. Ray was a button. Ray folded, and Nick shipped on the small blind.
I just didn't move the button quick.
$100 big blinds in play. There's our trophy.
There it is. Winter Classic main event, the Reserve Poker Club, Toledo, Ohio,
9 folds.
2022. Many more to come.
2 raises, 800.
Specifically coming up next is our New Year's Day tournament. I'm sure Jim will put that up on the screen shortly. We want people to be well aware of that, as well as the what am I trying to say? And I'm getting
the
late.
pregame satellite.
The pregame satellite.
Yeah,
Thank you.
There we go.
Jeez, couldn't think of that word, satellite.
It's late. It's late.
I'm drifting up in the satellites,
yeah,
my stars myself.
exactly. We would like to be up in a satellite right now. Hello.
Yeah.
2 raises to 800.
Quick fold from Ray.
Double check that.
And Nick has a hand to play.
9 calls. Thank you. You've seen that happen to me.
Very interesting matchup here. Aces against 7-6 of hearts.
Check.
9 checks.
And neither player likes that flop a whole lot.
Nope.
Two bets 800. 9 folds.
Rich bets out on the flop, and Nick folds.
So between the three of them, they have changed. They have had the lead at any given point. Chip lead. Nick now with the chip lead. Was Ray earlier. It was Rich. Then it was back to Ray. We're definitely seeing some back and forth here, although Nick has had it for a while.
4 calls. 9 calls.
Three-way flop here.
2
Three-way
checks.
flop.
Nick with the dirty diaper. Ray wanted to see a flop with 9-7 off. And Ray flops the best of it with an open-ender.
2 checks.
He's probably going to take this down here.
9 folds.
Rich does have a gutter ball to a 7.
2 calls.
And he calls it.
Interesting. This is sort of a float.
2 checks.
I believe his plan is to pull some sort of bluff off here. He picked up showdown value with a 4, but the thing is, what was he going to be beating?
I don't know, but if he checks this, you know Ray's going to bet it.
Checks, 4 checks.
Oh, and he checks it.
No.
So,
Ray's going to be so confused.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a whole another day off work just so I can watch this live stream. I was here from the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Nick said he's been on the live stream so long, he's going to have to take a whole day off work just to watch the whole thing.
Well, he is, unless he fast forwards, do it shorter, because he's been here since 1:15 this
Nine raises,
afternoon.
700,000.
We're now at 1:45, so 12 and a half hours of footage he's going to have to watch if he
Well,
wants
you
to
know,
learn
there's
more about
like-
himself and his other players.
They do like the
2
James
raises,
Bond marathon
2.8
on
million.
Christmas, or like the Die Hard movies. You know, we
Four
could
is all
you
in.
just
Yeah.
make that the Christmas marathon day.
There you go.
What'd you do on Christmas? Oh, I watched myself play poker all day.
All right, so now we've got a trouble brewing here. Ace 4 against Ace 2.
Chop it up.
Turn mine over, Ryan, if you're
All in.
Let me feel the hand and then
Yeah.
I'll let you do that.
I think it was 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6. I can't remember which.
Ace deuce of diamonds, ace 4 of spades. Rich is going to be the one at risk here. Oh, no, excuse me. It looks like Ray is.
I think Ray is.
Oh, and they both flop a pair, but Ray has a flush draw as well. Oh, and he gets there. Didn't really matter. He didn't, need
matter.
it,
He
but
didn't
wow.
need it. Yeah.
Ace 4 and ace deuce.
1, 2, 2.5 on yellow.
You get that in there a lot of time thinking it's going to be a chop. That was not going to happen on that board.
4.5. 5.
No, this is 5.
5.65.
There will be no chopping it up, sir.
Ray
No
says, not today.
Not today. Not chopping this hand, not chopping this tournament. Gonna take it all the way down. Stick with us. Stick with us. I know you're out there. 41 viewers here on the Facebook page. Over 60 on the YouTube, so we're still at over 100. Very thankful to have all our viewers. Really appreciate you all very much.
Who's that?
Who?
Jim's in the booth, trying to get an updated count from Rich. Make sure that we got the chip counts displayed properly.
Small blind. Big blind.
2.1. 2.1,
2.5.
yeah, 2.5.
Close.
Jim's trying to get the chip counts updated here,
2
so
folds, 4 calls, 9
just
checks.
bear with us for a second. Queen
4
deuce
checks.
for Ray, king 8
Guy
of
bets
hearts for Nick.
700,000.
Gut shot for Ray.
And he's not going to let it go.
No.
4 checks.
1 minute.
Yeah, the ace helps
That's 1 million.
Nick in this case.
Ray gave that one shot and then let it go.
Yep. Kurt, thank you so much. Kurt says it's way past my bedtime, Vic, but for you, I'll keep watching. Thanks, buddy. It was definitely good to see you the other day.
3 million.
Wish
9
you would've-
raises to 3 million.
So on the small blind, Queen Jack raises 3 million.
That strong budge.
300,000.
Rich.
Yeah, I mean,
Got me dominated.
Rich is getting short.
0.35.
He's going to lose 600K each time around the table. We can only make it around 4 times. Queen 8, blind versus blind. It's right there on the cusp. You don't really want to do it. You definitely don't want to do it and see Queen Jack. Here we go.
Yeah, Jack or an eight.
No.
Eight wouldn't have done it. They flip-flopped outs there at the end. That's going to do it for Rich.
That's going to do it for Rich. Rich going to take third place here, 3,450.
Nice run, Rich.
Nice payday here for Rich. A lot of work. We're only taking a couple of minutes here.
You got a couple more hands. Couple more hands. No break, right?
Oh, wait. People wandering around. Okay.
Good luck, gentlemen. Small
Couple of
blind is on
minutes,
the
I
button.
think. I don't
Well,
know.
they are going to. They've got a couple of more hands here to this round. There's a break. We've been told that that break is only going to be for a couple of minutes. It's not going to be our usual 10-minute break. So just hang with us here. We are now heads up on this final table. And
Heads up for the trophy.
heads up for the trophy. Looks like Ray at 11.3 million. Nick at 16.8.
I don't think those are updated because that's
Calls?
about, probably does not include the chips that Nick just won.
Okay.
Because if you add those two together, that's 28 million.
Check.
600.
600.
Last hand at this.
Okay, when your head's up, in case you don't know, small blind is on the button.
And
Well,
when
the
your head's
first-
up, you can win that. Sorry, didn't mean to
No, I was
interrupt
going to say then the first card, of course, goes to. Oh, we're getting a little bit of an. Oh, it's Ray, I think. Looking it over.
All right, action's on Ray.
He took a look at it and then got it out of camera view.
there. That was a bad beat for us.
Yeah, well, Jim's going to give him a hard time about that. Ray now, the first to act on the button in the small blind, looks down at Ace Jack. Certainly going to make a raise
900.
here.
Boom.
And a quick fold there from
If we get
From
one more
Nick.
hand, then we'll
Yeah,
give it a
9-3.
break.
Paul's
No need to
announcing
play.
to get one more hand in here. Then the break. We do know that this is going to be a short break. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We got 65 viewers here on our YouTube and 40 viewers on the Facebook. So we're over 100 viewers right now. All 100 of you, please stay with us. Head-to-head action here. Second place is going to take $5,150, while first place $10,125 and the trophy.
Oh, it, all right. Thought it just was. When I was on the button, you had me be the big. Okay.
Always small.
The button is always small.
Calls.
And first to act, pre-flop.
Check.
Flop comes out, then the big blind acts.
Check.
Nick getting the better piece of this.
600.
And the Kings don't slow him down. Goes ahead and puts a bet out. 600,000.
Calls.
Ray doesn't buy it, so he's going to make the call. Ace
Check.
might slow them down.
Check, check. Check.
I have 8.
Okay, just a wee bit of a break here, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Reserve. Final table of our Winter Classic main event, 2022. There's the chip count. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
It's up to you.
And we're back.
We are back. Vic Gager here
Oh, I
with
got
my
10
partner in
each.
crime, Adam Sugg.
10,000. They must
We
have
are
counted
heads
us.
up action.
2 and 4.
200,000, 400,000 blinds, Paul just told him.
All right, actions on red.
Back from this break. We want to thank everybody that stuck around. Kenneth Green says one day I will come up and check this place out. Looking forward to it, Kenneth. Come and see us soon. Amanda says, I feel you guys. My eyes are getting a little heavy.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. Daniel Meyer is watching. We missed you this week, Daniel. Somebody said, where is Wheelchair Dan? Well, he's disappointed he couldn't make it, but he had to go on vacation.
Bad beat. Bad
Well-
beat there.
You had me so down there.
Bad beat, Dan?
Bad beat to have to go on vacation and not be able to play this poker tournament. You
That
know,
is.
it's a rough life he lives.
Long
Yes.
day if we start doing this.
Yeah.
But Paul 7 high deals are just
So we mentioned some live streams coming up this week. Tuesday night, 2-5, No Limit Hold'em. Thursday night, PLO. Saturday night, Rumble at the Reserve. But let's not forget Saturday afternoon, starting at 1 o'clock, I believe. It's going to be the Dealers Tournament
Yeah,
here
buddy.
at the Reserve.
10 high, we had that.
It's going to be
Oh,
live stream.
man.
Oh, man.
Those that you that don't know, throughout the year we set aside a little bit after each night,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit, and we're going to have a little celebration of that. The 10 dealers here are going to be playing in a tournament, and that'll be live streamed. We're all pretty excited about it. I know there's a lot of people very excited about it. Don't forget to watch that live stream this Saturday at 1 o'clock.
We sharing that one.
Not sure who's dealing, and I'm not sure who's
JT
going to
said
be.
he wanted to commentate. Temp said he wanted to commentate.
Yeah.
Temp came on with me a little bit at the end the other night.
Yeah.
He was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, good.
Didn't talk to him during break.
I don't know if we have a dealer.
Daniel is watching from the Caribbean.
Which island?
Which island, Daniel? Now,
Aces.
Aces
10-9 suited for Ray. This could get
9
spicy.
to go.
could get very spicy.
Nick is trying to not get too excited here.
3 million?
Raise 3 million. Raise all in.
And Ray decides to ship it all in. Wow.
Wow.
Ace cracker for sure.
Wow.
Nick's calling out the 10-9 to be an ace cracker. We'll
And
see.
for sure, I mean,
All right, guys, good luck.
that's kind of Ray's thinking there, I think, when he ships it in there, but
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he picks up
World
clubs.
spicy.
Oh,
Two
my
clubs.
gosh.
World.
Wow. And a queen now. Looking for a queen or
More
a club.
outs, 11 outs.
Doesn't get there.
Doesn't get there, and there
That's
we
gonna
have
be
our
it.
champion.
Nick.
Nick is our champion. Wow, $10,125 to Nick and the trophy. $5,150 second place to Ray Brent. Very exciting. Capping off one heck of a great week for our just fantastic Winter Classic. Thank you all very much. We're going to have, I think we're going to have an interview here with our champion, Nick. We also have to get a picture there. But here I am, Vic
Hello,
Gager.
hello, hello.
And here's Adam.
We made it.
Am I right?
We made it.
2:07 a.m. Been just a long week, a long day. It's been just a fantastic day of live streaming. We started this at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And there's a big handshake over to Nick from Jim. Well deserved, well played.
And we got Nick back here.
And he was at one point down around 2,000. So let's get you on the headset, Nick, and let's talk about this big win that you've experienced here today.
What's up, guys?
Welcome, welcome. How you feeling?
Great, man. I'm stoked.
Nice to get it in and pick up aces heads up and just have your opponent ripping on you, huh?
Yeah, not much. I mean, not much skill there. I just sat there and.
You didn't pull you ever seen that? There's a really old WPT where the opponent rips it on Esfandiari and he like holds the aces up for the crowd.
Yes, I've seen that.
You should have.
It didn't come to mind, but you're right. I missed that
maybe next
opportunity.
time. Maybe next time you get in that
Absolutely.
exact same situation.
Next time I'm all in for the title, and they got it. I got aces. There we go.
I was pretty impressed with your play today. I was only here at about 7:30, so I know you were on the stream the whole day today.
Yeah, I started at the feature table and never left. Felt good. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a grind.
It was a very long. It was a long week. I played every event. I took the week off work to be here. There you go.
Yeah, you almost got to get it up there a little. Yep,
Okay.
there you go.
Yeah, I took the week off to be here. It was a grind. It was a grind.
So what was a PLO final table, right? Did you have any other caches?
No, that was it. I double bagged this.
Double bag?
PLO, I got fourth, and this, yeah.
Would you say there was one like deciding moment in this tournament that stood out where you just?
Absolutely. It's probably about an hour ago now. I had 8-9. I flopped an open. I flopped pair. I flopped nines. It was like 9-10 deuce, I believe.
Yep.
The turn made me open-ended. I bet, and he raised me to 2 million. I tanked for a long time. I came real close to folding it. I really thought that my nines might have been good on their own. So I made the call, and I banked to the river, hit the jack on the river.
Yeah.
And
No, that played out perfectly for you, and he still paid you in that situation as well. So
yeah, we got the 2 million in on the turn, and yeah, I was happy with it.
Nick, you've been playing well lately.
I appreciate it. I felt like I did feel like I played well today.
Well, sometimes you play well, and then at the end you ran well. You pick up the aces
Yeah,
in the right
absolutely.
spot. You pick up, certain things happen, and hey, happy to see it.
All
Happy
about
for
timing.
you. I
Yeah,
know.
man, I feel great.
I know everybody here loves to have you.
I love being here. This was hands down the best event I've been to anywhere in a long time. Come to the next one.
You heard it. You heard it from the man. Our Winter Classic main event champion, 50,000 guarantee. Nick took home $10,125 plus a double bag.
Double bag.
Can't forget about
Last
the double
long.
bag.
It was a good day.
Last
Yep.
longer, scooping it all. Nick,
It was a
congratulations.
pleasure.
Congratulations.
Great job in the booth. I was listening on my breaks. Everyone, Tim, you, Vic, everyone was great.
We appreciate it. We really do. We love to hear it. It helps us stay motivated to keep going at it.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Hey, for everyone here at the Reserve, for Vic, for Nick, congratulations again, our main event
Thanks,
champion.
guys.
We're signing out. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.
Have a good night.